All right, everybody, welcome. Some bonus watch party action here on MMAfighting.com. As you can see, we have a very interesting and very weird fight going on in Saudi Arabia. We're going to see Tyson Fury, the lineal boxing heavyweight champion of the world, fight the former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Francis Ngannou. I see a lot of people asking when this fight's going to happen. We will let you know in a matter of moments. But I am Mike Hack, being joined by the boxing enthusiast himself, my fellow New Englander, fellow baseball fan, fellow MMA fighting reporter. He's the social media king. He is Jose Youngs. Jose, how are we feeling? Are you enjoying this card thus far? Some quick knockouts, back and forth.
Well, I know our colleagues that did the preview show for this, they don't particularly watch boxing, so they're like, "Oh, it's a bad fight card. It's a one fight card." But like, I tried to bring, because I was running the comments. I was like pulling them up, and one guy was like, "There's some good heavyweight fights," and it was as if the Ultimate Warrior was wrestling Triple H at WrestleMania. That's how bad they no-sold it. That's how bad they no-sold the rest of this card. So I've had fun. I like boxing. I like heavyweight boxing. Joseph Parker is the man. He's been the man. He's pretty much only lost to like top 6 fighters, like ranking wise. And we're about to get Fabio Wardley and David Adeleye, who's I think a lot of people would agree is probably the best fight. The boxing doesn't really do people's main event because boxing is usually a one fight card, and that one fight is usually the main event is usually the people's main event. But this is like, these guys are both sub 30. They're undefeated with an absurd amount of knockouts. This would be like if at the time when they were both undefeated, this would have been if there was like a co-main event, if like Francis fought like, I don't know, Stipe, and the co-main event was like Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich like 5 years ago. It's like it's just good. These guys are two very good young fighters that come from the same country, so I'm looking forward to it.
So this is kind of a weird spectacle of an event because this is a 5-fight main card. We had 3 main card fights. They all ended very quickly. The first 2 fights ended in the first round. This most recent fight, I don't remember what round it ended, but it ended very quickly. Now they're moving the actual event from outside to inside. They're going to do opening ceremonies. They're calling it on the broadcast like an Olympic style opening ceremony. There's going to be a musical act of some sort. And I think it's going to happen. The actual opening ceremony may happen before the main event actually happens. But the co-main event is about to happen. It's about to go down. It's Fabio Wardley versus David Adeleye for the British heavyweight title. So that's what we're going to get. It's supposed to be a really good fight. So we will watch that. We will let you know what's happening there. And then right after that, we will get Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, and we'll let you know what's happening there. So we will have a good time. If you guys want to ask some questions, hang out. It doesn't have to be about this card. We could talk some MMA as well. This is, of course, MMA fighting. This is our channel, and we mostly cover MMA. But this is a big one. Francis Ngannou getting a big bag of money. And that's always a good thing. So so once they go inside, if you're not watching this right now, if you're watching, you've probably seen shots inside the arena. It's like a pit in the middle of the arena. And then the ring is going to come from under the ground, under the floor, and rise up. And then they're going to fight in the ring. So friggin' everybody's here, Jose. Like, everybody's here. Vince McMahon and Undertaker are there. Kanye West, Eminem, a who's who of boxers and MMA fighters, past and present. I mean, everybody's here. It's kind of one of those events where I'm like, I don't really care. But the more I've seen all this different stuff going on and who's there and the opportunities that could be had, I got a little FOMO right now. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, you're telling me, considering what, 7 days ago, I was out in the Middle East. So yeah, and like, speak of the devil, like Conor McGregor's on.
It's Conor McGregor. They spelled his name wrong. Oh God, they can't believe they just did that.
You love this.
2 N's. Golly.
So yeah, a little bit of Dave Fogarty in the background. A little bit of a FOMO, considering I was just over there. But we're here. We're doing the watch party with you fine folks, so I can't complain too much. It would have been nice to, rub shoulders with The Undertaker and Vince McMahon and Eminem and ignore Kanye West. So it would have been fun.
All right. We got some questions coming in. Some are fight related, some are not. What if the ring breaks and it doesn't rise, Jose? What if something happens? What if we have I'm sure it's been tested a bunch, but this is a weird event. Weird things could happen. What if the ring doesn't come up and they're just going to fight in the pit?
I don't know. What if a meteor shower just hits the arena? Like it's not gonna happen, bro.
I love the circusy question. Happy Halloween. What are the holiday plans? Trick or treating with the kids, Halloween pottery, not celebrating. I'll do some treat. I had to MC a trunk or treat event at my kid's school last night for 2 hours. So
how was that?
It was fun, man. There were so many friggin' people. Like the line to get in would not stop. So I had to entertain about 800 children. Like we had to do like giveaways of gift cards and stuff like that, costume contests. It was wild, man. It was a good time. My kid dressed up like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It was wonderful. What are your Halloween plans? Anything exciting?
Game 4 World Series. That's my plans.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, they don't mess around here. This ain't the NBA. Everything gets stretched out. First round. Okay. First round, third round so far. What's the prediction for versus Adeleye?
I don't know, man. This is a tough fight. This is a 50-50 fight for me. I'm going to say Fabio is the reigning champion. Well, the British champion. So I'll give the edge to the champ. I'll say fourth round TKO. I don't think it's going to be a full flat out KO. I don't think it's TKO.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm a casual watcher. I'll watch the big fight. So I've read up a little bit on Wardley and Adeleye, and everyone says that this is going to be the most competitive fight on the card. So I am looking forward to that. This is a question we've been getting a ton on all of our shows. What happens if Francis shocks the world and KOs Fury in 1-on-1? I mean, you're going to see our reaction here. So
you're going to see the same reaction I have watching when I was about 4 feet away from Israel Adesanya knocking out Alex Pereira. My eyebrows are going to go, wow. I pride myself in being able to like contain,
There's no way you're going to contain yourself here.
Nope.
If Francis just ices him in like 12 seconds, you're just going to sit there and be like, wow, man, that was cool.
Yeah, probably. Nothing? I'm not lying. Like, I'm not lying. I've said the craziest I've gotten is when Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal one was happened so quickly against Askren, didn't even see it. When Conor tapped to Nate, I was sitting like leaning forward over my computer, and then I went, wow. I like leaned back in my chair.
I mean, I get that. Like, if you're there, you can't be like jumping up and down, but here is not there.
I still like Zen moment. I'm a terrible watch. Just a heads up. I'm a terrible person to watch. Or maybe I'm the opposite. Maybe it's like such a unique thing that I don't have a reaction that'll be even more fun. Like I'm not a GC who who will like go ballistic and get out of his chair or anything like that. I'll just be like, wow, wild stuff.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get to put that to the test. What's more likely, a round 3 knockout for Ngannou or Tyson Fury by decision?
I think both are very viable options.
Interesting.
Francis Ngannou is people keep asking oh, can Francis Ngannou knock out Tyson Fury? Like Tyson Fury's never been knocked out. Francis is very tough. Francis is a very tough individual. I would not be surprised if this reached the scorecards. I don't think it will, but these are two very physically durable men fighting.
Prediction here from Nam Kablam: Fury finishes Ngannou in 3 rounds, over or under. I don't know if that's a prediction, but that's just there. Nam Kablam's over under. So the actual over under on this fight that you could bet on DraftKings Sportsbook, you use the code the MMA Hour and get yourself a nice little deal right here. So over under 3 rounds of this fight.
Over, because I think it's going to be middle round. I'm not saying it's going to go to like double digit rounds, like 10, 11, whatever, or around 10 or whatever. I just think it'll be probably the middle rounds because I think Francis is such an odd fighter for boxing that Tyson Fury is, I know I think like collecting data is such a stupid term because like there's a gentleman trying to punch you in the face. Like you're not collecting data. You're just trying to not get punched. Yeah. So but if the term collecting data is appropriate, it would be this fight, because when you're like Floyd, when it's like Canelo or Floyd or Joshua or Wilder, or any of these boxers, you're fighting guys that have a lot of fights. You've seen them fight. How much data does Floyd Mayweather need to collect on Manny Pacquiao? Not a whole lot, because we've seen it. You don't know what we're getting with Francis Ngannou in the boxing ring. So I think that's I think if maybe the round or two, Fury's gonna be like, well, this is weird, and then he'll figure it out.
I actually like Timothy Bradley Jr.'s breakdown. I don't think he's gonna let like Francis punch him in the face, but he's gonna feel him a little bit, and then once he realizes what it's like, and then he's just gonna attack. Like that's what
but like that's such a like every boxer does that.
Right.
Because like there's only so much data quote unquote data you can collect through a screen. You got to feel what he's packing. Because sometimes like oh, it drives me crazy. Like Dillian White had so much success against Tyson Fury when Dillian White came out southpaw, and Tyson Fury was like, oh, what the hell? Like wasn't prepared for this. And then he just went back to orthodox. I'm like, oh, you're so dumb. Like you were doing it. You were doing the thing. And then it just didn't work out for him.
Jose from Victor, who do you think wins between Tyson Fury and prime Mike Tyson? And more recently, who would win between John Fury and current Mike Tyson?
Tyson Fury would beat prime Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson would just crush John Fury in any iteration of that. I think I'm not a big Mike Tyson like truther in terms of his abilities in the ring. In terms of prize fighting, like people paying to watch someone fight, I don't know if there's a better person in any sport than Mike Tyson.
Yeah, man.
It's Mike Tyson. It's Conor. It's Mike Tyson. Like Muhammad, like, but it's also like it wasn't really like pay-per-view models weren't like a huge thing, obviously, back in the day. But Mike Tyson was the draw in boxing. Floyd Mayweather, obviously, I think it's between Floyd and Canelo. Floyd, Canelo, Mike Tyson, like those are like the big three of boxing draws. And then there's the box office draw, which is you pay to go watch them fight, if that makes sense. It's like the ticket draw. Anthony Joshua is a massive draw. Ticket wise, he's not a big pay-per-view draw like Muhammad Ali and all these guys are big ticket draws. They weren't at the time, obviously, because it's just such a different climate in terms of television and streaming and everything. So I don't even rate Mike Tyson as a top 5 heavyweight in terms of skill set. He's very clearly top 3, if not number 1 draws in the history of boxing. So it's like Chael Sonnen. Is Chael Sonnen a top 5 middleweight ever? Probably not. But is he the biggest draw in middleweight history? He's right up there, if not the biggest.
Is every celebrity that exists in the entire world at this event. I've never seen anything like this event before. The who's who is there. That is true. Fabio Wardley, David Adeleye is about to start. David Adeleye is about to make his walk to the ring. And so is that fight? So that fight must be happening outside too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So just Ngannou Fury's happening inside. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Listening to Demetrius Johnson break down about how Francis could win makes me think he could actually do it more than just a puncher's chance. Go to the body, then up top. Someone had asked earlier, do you think Ngannou will go and try to rip Tyson to the body? Do you think that's something you'll see consistently?
Do you know what Dillian White's nickname is?
What is it?
The Body Snatcher. Do you know why?
Because he snatches bodies or
because
hits to the body a lot?
He rips punches to the body. Do you know what Tyson Fury has done to Dillian White? Ate him alive on national television. Come on, guys.
Look, DJ. I mean, DJ's got a sharp mind.
I think DJ is one of the best analysts in all of MMA in terms of fighters. But I did see a tweet where it was like, Demetrius Johnson hasn't been getting the eyeballs he deserves, so he just said some wild shit to get people to tune in, and then they'll stick around.
Even if Francis loses, he can continue to box and
Sure.
make the heavyweight division kind of fun, depending on how well he does against Tyson Fury. So that's something we
100%.
haven't really talked about. Like, if he loses to Tyson, it's not Tyson Fury. It's not like he's never going to box again. Like,
Correct.
that itch isn't going to go away after this. You know what I mean? But like, do you just think he'll box like normal heavyweight boxers?
I'll ask you a question. I'll
ahead.
phrase it like this. In the next 5 years, do we see Francis box or fight MMA more?
That's actually, it's going to be close. I think MMA, because he has this deal with PFL and like we talked about on the Q&A, Francis is a man of his word. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. So, man, now I'm thinking about it. I'll say MMA, but slightly, maybe like by a fight.
I think it'll be like 3-2, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was thinking. 3-2.
But more people will watch the boxing matches than MMA.
If Francis wins, will we see him in MMA again more than once?
Yes,
I agree with that. Round 8. I don't know if it goes that long. Maybe that'd be a good call.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do throw in the towel, like between rounds. Like Fury's just kind of punishing him, and they don't. I'm not saying they don't want the image, but Eric Nixick is there, and I know he's not the lead trainer. It's Dewey Cooper and Mike Tyson, but there's guys that you just need in your corner, even if they're not boxing coaches. Like Conor McGregor had John Kavanagh, who was a jiu-jitsu coach, but he was in his corner for Floyd Mayweather. You just need that voice that you recognize and can talk you through things. And I wouldn't be surprised if they threw in the towel just to save their fighter. Eric Nixick really, really cares for Francis.
Have you mentioned ring rust yet? Oh, man.
Ring rust. Francis has literally never fought in a ring.
Question to both Mike and Jose. Is Francis Ngannou the best MMA heavyweight fighter outside the UFC?
Yes.
Of course.
He was the best when he was in the UFC.
Yeah, he was our number one on the global rankings, even after John Jones won the belt. But then inactivity took him, because we have an 18-month rule. If you don't fight for 18 months, you're out of the rankings. And Ngannou hit that point, so he's not in our rankings anymore. But the second he has a PFL fight, he's back in. I don't know if he'll go to number one, but
I would rank John over him. Maybe. Well, because see, what's the definition of pound for pound? How would these guys compare if they all were the same size? How would you go? How would they look between weight classes? Right?
Yeah,
and I very much subscribe to the Max Kellerman. Like, I don't agree with Max Kellerman on a lot of things, but I do agree with him on his take on who's the best pound for pound fighters are, and it's the guys that you see actually attempt to do these things. Pound for pound, I think it's John, because he's actually going between weight classes. And I also not for nothing, I said I thought John Jones is the best heavyweight in the world when he was a light heavyweight. I think he's the best fighter of all time. So it's a bummer that we're not getting that fight. But like Kellerman's, by that same model, Kellerman said that like Manny Pacquiao is a better pound for pound fighter than Floyd Mayweather because he won championships over like 6 or 7, 8 weight classes, and Floyd did not. So I get what he's trying to say, but Floyd is a better boxer. But if you're just looking for like pound for pound history, Manny Pacquiao is way out there. Same as Canelo.
Yeah, because I mean, for the first time, I think maybe since Kamaru Usman was the welterweight champion, Islam Makhachev is the unanimous number one pound for pound fighter for us right now. Like that, even before, it was like some were Volk, some were Makhachev. There were a couple of John ones heading into 294, and now Islam's the unanimous number one. The problem with John is, I don't know. There's a lot has to do with it. Like the whole, if this dude moved up and if everybody was the same size is one thing, but also I think resume has a lot to do with it. And sure, John hasn't lost a fight. I get that, but he also has only fought one time in like 4 years, and Islam is just running dudes in the best division in the sport. So, I mean, if John goes and defends the title 2 more times, he probably takes it. But Islam has fought way more and done a lot more since John was absent, and John only has 1 win.
Would you say John Jones has the greatest resume in MMA history?
I would say
so.
There.
Who is better? I don't think there's anyone better. He literally ran out of Hall of Famers to fight.
Yeah. But most people, but MMA is just so weird because of what have you done for me lately?
I get
Sport.
it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
No,
We look
I
at the
get
Reyes
like
fight and the Santos fight and the Smith fight, and we're like, great.
Hey
The
man,
OSP fight.
winners win.
Yeah. Exactly.
Winners win.
I do agree with that.
Do you think Mike Mike Bisping was not better than Luke Rockhold? Still won. Winners win.
Just took a look at the UFC fight night Almeida versus Lewis in Sao Paulo, and I have to say that fight card isn't that bad. It seems pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a lot of fights. 14 fights.
I
as of
assume
right now.
Guilherme will be there.
That would be a good assumption.
So hopefully we can get some fun content. I think I'm the only one at MMA fighting who's not all aboard the Jailton Almeida train. So curious how that plays out.
Will you be on the train if he beats Derek Lewis? Or
No,
but if he beat Curtis Blades, you would have been, right?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a bummer.
Jailton Almeida does 3 things: front kick, double leg, against the fence,
smush,
submission. If he, man, it's so like Curtis Blades. Like, I have so many questions about Tom Aspinall, and I have so many questions about Jailton Almeida. And a win over Curtis Blades would have answered both of those. Like a good win, and we have now more questions. Like, that's why I think I'm so sold on Sergey, because everyone kept like, if you go back and watch that fight, everyone was like, why didn't Curtis Blades shoot in? Why didn't he shoot all these takedowns? Go watch that fight without commentary and just watch Sergey connect. I mean, Curtis Blades connected flush with absolute bombs in that fight that 99.9% of the world would have died if they connected, if they were on the other end. And Sergey not only ate them, but kept walking forward. So Curtis, like, if you're landing clean, why do you wrestle? You're doing the thing, and then, but the problem is Sergey has a chin of iron and walks through it. So it's tough. It's tough.
David Adeleye getting introduced right now. Co-main event about to start. He's talking a little trash.
I'm very excited about this fight.
This is gonna be a good one.
This is obviously for the British Heavyweight Championship of the world. Like, that's an actual belt that you saw on their walkout, and like some of the guys that have held that, I think Tyson Fury's held it twice. I know Anthony Joshua's held it. I know Dillian White's held it. I know David Price has held it. I'm trying to think of who else. Joe Joyce, maybe. He might have even held it before Wardley. So I think like this is so the winner of this historically goes on to do big things.
Any rumors at all about Francis' opponent in the PFL? Nothing that I've heard.
No idea.
It's probably going to be. It's going to be somebody that people know. It's probably going to be sort of I don't like to use the word washed all that often, but it'll probably be like a former highly ranked UFC fighter.
JDS would be like
maybe
the
JDS.
JDS should be
Doom. Somebody like that would be my guess. I don't think he's just. I don't think. I mean, if this is a meritocratic world, which MMA is not, and this is a whole different situation, the guy who wins the freaking $1 million should get the fight, but it's gonna sell one.
But that's the issue, I think. With it's not an issue. That's the wrong word. Like, the PFL was built on how they're a meritocracy and they're a league and they're a tournament, and now in this super fight division that they've launched, like, there's no point in any of that. Like, if I'm Derek Brunson, why would I enter the tournament? Well, yeah, it's to win $1 million, but you could also, like, what, you could fight Jake Paul in MMA? Do that.
Yeah. We don't know who Jake's going to fight now at this point, because
I saw some people ask. There were some people asking in the Q&A because Jake Paul was supposed to announce his next opponent for boxing. Like, I think it was supposed to be yesterday, right?
At the Toronto fight.
But I guess is the opponent that they were targeting couldn't get a visa, and it was an actual like 7-1
pro.
Yeah. All right,
that fight's gonna be in Orlando the day before UFC 296. All right, here we go. Wardley versus Adeleye. Getting after it here. If you're watching the card, we are at. Where are you at, Jose? I'm at
250.
All right, so I'm like 12 seconds ahead of you. So I'm gonna wait. Tell me when you get to 235.
Tell me when you get to 235. I can even make it live. All right, now I'm at 220. All of a sudden, I did a massive jump. Just hit the live button.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Oof.
All right, we'll be all right. As long as the main event is really what we should.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm probably like a few seconds behind you now, but it's okay.
You know what this fight reminds me of? When
What?
Calvin Kattar fought Shane Burgos in Boston in the co-main event.
Yeah.
Like, that's the level of that these two are at. Like, they're both going to be big deals and they're going to be on exciting fights, but only one of them can continue on. Or like when Andre Fili fought Max Holloway in Baltimore. Like, they're just fighting at, like, they're so young and so talented.
Both
and
very
people are like, because the Boston card obviously had, that wasn't the co-main event. That was the third fight from the top, right? Because the main event was Stipe Francis and the co-main event was DC and Volkan Ozdemir, and then Shane Burgos and Calvin Kattar were third fight, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, they're the featured fight.
Yeah.
That was such a good fight,
dude. And I thought Shane Burgos was
Kattar got him. Yeah, so did I.
That was a good old Boston, New York fight.
Yeah,
I think that was the first fight card I think that was the first fight card you and I worked together back at Fansided days. That
is very true. That is very true. I remember got to media day and like
at Fenway.
Yep. And Calvin K, everyone's just lining up to talk to like DC and Volkan and the because I don't think Stipe and Francis
They were there.
They were there, right? Yeah. DC was looking pretty rough because he was cutting down to 205. But then get to Kattar, poor Kattar and Burgos were just like sitting there. No one was anywhere near him. It was tough. So we're about 45 seconds left in this round. Very tentative round as you expect. Up there we go. Wardley getting in there, ripping to the body a little bit. Oh, Adeleye throwing bombs. 35 seconds left in round number 1. I'll answer some questions as this is going on as well. Mike Breeden did not get an agreement after his win in UFC 294. What's the views on this? He missed weight in a losing streak. Not to mention the whole
staph infection's the thing.
The staph infection thing, dude. Like, you were there, man. Like, you're in the back talking to these fighters.
I asked him about it.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. And then Dana's response was like, the right one? Yeah. You lied to us. Lie your ass all the way home. Like, don't say it. Just go home and you got one over and you got paid, dude.
The Breeden one is tough because he was on a 3-fight losing streak. So he probably was like, well, if I pull out, they're going to cut me anyway.
Yeah. We're watching highlights of Wilder knocking Tyson Fury down. I almost call him Tommy Fury. I don't know why I would do that. And then somehow freaking Fury rises from the dead like the Undertaker and gets back up. That fight is so incredible.
All 3 of those fights are incredible.
Yeah.
All 3 are absolutely incredible. I agree with, again, this is twice I'm saying this now, which is crazy. I agree with Kellerman's breakdown of, so when Fury fought, I think it was, Wilder the first time, he obviously got clipped at the end. And then in the last 2 rounds, he fought very aggressive. I think especially the last round, he fought hyper aggressive to try to like win that back. And he got so in Wilder's face that Wilder like didn't quite know what to do. So Fury just made it ugly and like dirty boxing and like phone booth boxing, and had so much success in that last round and a half that then he took that strategy into the next 2 fights. If he had done that early in the first fight, it would have been a draw. I scored the first fight a draw, honestly. I thought that was the right decision. But what was it, 12 rounds? So Fury won, 8-4 or 7-5 or whatever it is. But the 2 knockdowns, or the knockdown of the 2 knockdowns, because it's, like scoring wise. So scoring wise, it was a draw. But if you're going by rounds, Fury won.
We're in round 2 here of this British heavyweight title fight, the co-main event.
Ooh.
You must be able to...
Wicked jab.
Yep.
Where are you at?
I'm at 206.
I'm 155, so about 10 seconds.
You were like 20 seconds behind me, and somehow
and then all of a sudden my internet just skipped forward.
You hit the live button. All right. Yeah, I'm behind you. I might just like refresh it.
So New York Rick is usually ahead of you guys on the watch parties?
Okay, so for the MMA fans there,
because I've only ever watched one watch.
You were on one, were you not?
That's the only one I've watched because I'm usually at the fights, so I've never get an opportunity to watch the watch-alongs.
Okay, so for anybody who watches the UFC watch parties, how it works is GC and I are in studio. We're in Ariel, the MMA Hour studio, and we're watching the fights. And it's just him and I for the most part. And then we bring in a guest or two. We do it through Zoom, but not only that, we are able to take the actual stream we're watching and put it in the Zoom. So they can watch, like the fighters are on, but they're watching the same stream we are. So we're lined up together. New York Rick decided to not watch that stream, but decided to watch his television that was ahead of us. So when Islam knocked out Volkanovski, New York Rick saw it like 10 seconds before we did. So we couldn't really react together. And I looked at GC like I wanted to jump through the television screen and yell at New York Rick.
I enjoy writing in our Slack channel when I see stuff like 40 seconds before all you guys. It's quite fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have an actual live feed because I'm about 20 feet from the action. So but I didn't do that for Islam and Volk. But that was a weird one, man. That was a weird one because like what was it? When Izzy rocked Alex, like I contained it. But inside I was like, wow, this is nuts. Like, or especially or like the Leon Kamaru fight, I was there too, or the Gaethje Poirier fight. Like, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, that was the wild stuff. But when Volk like dropped Islam in the first fight, whether it was a drop or a slip, whatever it was, I was like, wow, that was wild. Like in my mind, but I was containing it.
Yeah.
When Islam knocked out Volk just because of all the chaos surrounding it, and like Islam fighting in Abu Dhabi, like wanting to right the wrongs and everything. Yeah, Volk was like this big hero, but when he kicked Volk in the head, my reaction internally was like, there it is. There it is. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. I was like, yeah, that'll
Speaking
happen.
of Israel Adesanya, there he is.
Beautiful.
Backstage with pearl necklaces, talking to Francis Ngannou, having a good time. Everybody's here. Sugar Ray's there. Riddick Bowe in the house. I haven't seen Riddick Bowe in a hot minute.
Oh my God. Adeleye is such a good boxer.
Yeah. This fight's been pretty good.
It's very, very good.
Ooh, that was nice. Nice little shot to the body. So far, Wardley landing according to the stats here, 11-4 on the power punches.
This is the thing. Wardley is going to be the more aggressive fighter, and Adeleye is going to try to box you.
Yeah. Adeleye doesn't look like he's really boxing tonight, man. He looks like he's ready to punch an early clock here. Ooh, referee warning Adeleye of an elbow. This is not the first time he's had to speak to Adeleye. But if this is like MMA, then he gets 18 more warnings before he gets a point taken away. We're back at it. 2:12 here, left in round number 3 of a scheduled 12 rounds, if it gets that far. I kind of feel like this one isn't going to get that far for the British heavyweight title. You guys can keep throwing some questions and stuff in here. We'll pull them up and multitask as we await why you're all here. You want to watch Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, and that fight's going to happen. So what they basically said in the broadcast is that when this fight ends, they're going to bring everybody that's outside watching this fight and had watched all the other previous fights. They're going to bring them inside, and then there's going to be opening ceremonies or so, like 20-minute thing, and then they're going to fight.
20 minutes. You think it's going to go 20 minutes?
No.
I think it's going to go like an hour.
Probably. We're going to be here for way longer than
oh my God.
I expected us to be when I pitched this, but it's okay.
Wardley is, you'll see in a few seconds, is pop, pop, pop.
Oh, nice left hand. Where are you at?
53.
All right. I'm like 12 seconds behind you, so I'm about to see it. All right, but like I said, as long as we're lined up for the main event, you have to pause for like 10 seconds. 2023 coming in. What MMA fight are you most looking forward to, and why is it Yuri versus Alex?
Fight I'm most looking forward to. I'm pretty excited for Aspinall Pavlovich.
It's a good fight. It's a really good fight.
Let me pull up that insane card at the end of the year.
296 is really good, man.
That's
It's
one
a
of the most
really
stacked
good
cards
card.
I've ever seen in my life. That's going to be a crazy media day.
Cody Garbrandt, Brian Kelleher is going to be on like the first prelims.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, dude. Freaking crazy. I'll tell you, I got a similar question on the on to the next one show, which you'll hear tomorrow, but I'll say it now. Not from a like viewership standpoint, but just because this fight just has to happen and I can't wait for it to be over so that we can have some semblance of normalcy in this division. I'm looking most forward to Leon Edwards and Colby Covington happening. I don't care who wins or who loses. This fight needs to happen because welterweight is a friggin' mess. And we've had literally no movement in this division at all this year. Absolutely none. Leon beats Kamaru. Colby's named the number one contender. We get this random ass Bilal Muhammad Gilbert Burns fight, which made absolutely no sense to put on that May card. It didn't sell an extra pay-per-view. Did nothing. Bilal wins, gets nothing from it, and we've seen nothing.
He got a paycheck.
He got a paycheck. That is very true.
Got 2 paychecks.
That's true. Yeah, maybe he's at the other higher tier where he doesn't get the win money, but you're probably right.
I bet Bilal Muhammad was still on that win method.
You're right. Plus, he got probably some bigger checks because it was co-main event and his 5-round fight and all that. But it's just so stupid. Like to book that fight on that card made no sense. But
I bet they thought Gilbert would mop him.
I think so.
Gilbert got hurt, bro. Like his whole arm like fell off in that fight.
That's very true.
God, Wardley is just, this has been a one-way traffic right now.
Yeah, Adeleye is he's looking frustrated. He's looking sort of confused in there.
I just think getting punched a lot will rattle your brain.
Main event is going to start. Like this fight's going to end, and it's 137 PT. We're in round 4 of the co-main event, and then they're going to move everybody inside to the arena, and then we're going to have the main event. So I don't know. They're saying tentatively 2:40 your time is the tentative thing, what they're saying now, but I would be shocked if that is the case at this point because everything is behind and slow and who the frig knows at this point. But who knows? Maybe this fight ends in round 6 and probably still is behind. So
they'd have to stretch.
Yeah.
This ain't MMA.
Francis Ngannou right now getting the hands wrapped. He's got the music on. Dude looks good getting off the bus. But yeah, Wardley looks so freaking good in this fight. His feints are nasty. Adeleye's just biting on everything at this point. Ooh, that was a nice little dirty right hand. I like it.
Adeleye is done.
Yeah, I would be shocked if we get to round 7 here. Minute left in round 4. Oh, Wardley smells it, man. He smells it. He sees it coming. Depends on where you're at. I'm at 45 seconds, but like I said, for the main event, we'll make sure we're all lined up.
I'm 10 seconds ahead of you.
You're 10 seconds ahead of me.
Let's not forget Adeleye loses his title if he loses too. So
yeah,
I think it's the WBO like European title, something like that. There's so many belts in boxing.
It's craziness.
Oh my God, Adeleye is cooked.
I'll find out in 10 seconds. Oh, okay. Oh, that was a good little exchange. Oh, yeah, dude, he is gasping for air right now. All right. About to hit to round 5. Not that I'm an armchair psychologist, but the body language is yowzer. It's night and day between these two gentlemen. So I feel like Adeleye has not won a single round here.
No. First 2 were competitive, and then One-way traffic.
Yeah, it's the tide has certainly turned. Abu Dhabi is just on fire right now. Or not Abu
Saudi
Dhabi,
Arabia.
yeah. Well, you know.
Riyadh. Well, it's Riyadh
Yeah,
season.
Riyadh.
So
They got like a little spear of their own.
they have everything of their own over there, man.
Have you been to Saudi before?
Never.
Never.
I've been to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and then I've had like layovers in Qatar.
It just looks, it's like a little mini Vegas from that overhead shot
They're trying, man. They're trying.
So let me ask you this, because we got, we had Brian Campbell on BTL. We've had Luke on BTL. Luke interviewed Kareem Sadan, and Kareem talked about sort of the relationship between sports. Right. But we're not really getting into that. But he made one statement that I thought was kind of interesting, which is basically in like 5 to 10 years, not that Vegas will not be like still having fights, but this sort of moniker that it's the fight capital of the world, that it's like the #1 destination to hold big fights. It's not going to be the case anymore. It's going to be that area of the world. Do you agree with that? Like 5 years from now, Vegas not going to be obsolete, but it's certainly not going to be the #1 choice anymore.
For boxing? I mean, I don't even know if it's #1 right now for boxing anyway.
Yeah. Or just like combat in general.
Combat in general will be tough, because I don't think the UFC is ever going to like leave their, like, all the big events are going to be held in Vegas. Like, International Fight Week and the end of the year and all that jazz. But I don't think so. I don't think the UFC will ever leave Las Vegas. Obviously, they'll never leave Las Vegas themselves. Yeah. They're getting a baseball team. They're probably going to get a basketball team. They're going to have the F1. So Vegas in general is making big moves in the sports world, but I think we're going to see a lot more. I think that fight night in Saudi might be the last fight night in Saudi for a while. I bet after that they throw pay-per-views there.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually kind of surprised that
I don't know. So I don't know why. I don't know why, but I would have to imagine it's something like, they didn't want to, they signed that big deal with Abu Dhabi. So maybe they didn't want to,
that's good point.
Shoes. But like if Shavkat beats Wonderboy in December and it's a fight night, like Shavkat Bilal's the main event in Saudi Arabia, right?
It's possible. Yeah,
I would say so.
It's a very good chance. Oh, all right, nice little left hand by Adeleye. Oh, he's showing all right, he's showing a little bit of life.
Adeleye is throwing absolute haymakers.
He's throwing them lunch boxes right now. Holy cow.
I love the pink trim.
Yeah. Oh, now he's all right. He's doing that. Come on, man. Wardley took a deep breath. All right, this is getting interesting here. Adeleye pushing forward a lot more than he was in rounds 3 and 4. It's a good competitive round. Both men taking some deep breaths here.
Yeah. Nah, Adeleye is, you'll see in a few seconds. His head should be in the stands right now.
Oh, you're correct. Oh, Wardley's nice, man.
He's he's a very good professional boxer.
How old is he? Around what age?
Wardley is probably like 26 to 28, somewhere in there. I mean, both of them are like 20 or in their late 20s. They're not. Yeah, they're not on the wrong side of 30 yet.
Adeleye's got to start barking like Mike Breeden,
and then lose his job.
Oh, shame.
That was a bummer.
Touche. Yeah, it was kind of a weird one. And Breeden's fought. He fought Hernandez on like 3 days' notice.
Mm-hmm.
Then he fought Natan Levy, which is a tough ass fight.
Super tough fight.
And then he was supposed to fight somebody else, and then got Terrence McKinney on like a week's notice. Like
I think he should have got a new contract. I do. Like that was an exciting fight, but I understand. You miss weight, you hit your staph infection, you beat their future, you beat their ticket to India. Like after all this shenanigans happened, like I'm sure the UFC in general, was not happy. Adeleye with some chippy throwing that elbow around. What are you doing?
All right, I'm about to see it. Oh, yep. Oh, the sneaky
Getting a
ass left
warning.
hand. Ooh. This is a street fight. Oh, that was like, all right, we
He's
gotta get a
literally
point.
he's just holding his head up with his elbow.
So the referee even at one point was like, all right, stop. And Adeleye still punched Wardley right to the side of the head.
And Wardley just like looked at him confused. Like none of those punches
Like,
seemed
what are
to
you doing?
phase him at all.
No point. We continue on. 3 hours till Fury and Ngannou. God, I don't think so. It better not be.
3 hours?
So I was just joking, but I would
Don't joke about
say,
that.
yeah, please don't. I'd say we're about an hour away from that fight starting. Hopefully that's the case. I actually am surprised this fight is still going. I thought Wardley's going to get him out of here.
But it seems like Adelaide's like every time there's any sign of Wardley going for the kill, Adeleye does fight back.
He does.
He's throwing
That's
bombs.
very true.
I just think he's beat up, but he's not out of it.
Yeah. I think Wardley's probably up 5 rounds here.
Yeah.
Adeleye might have snuck in 5, but I think Wardley probably stole it at the end. So this is a good fight. You weren't lying. What shitty performance artist will fill 30 minutes of time, Jose? Do you know?
Becky G's there.
Kanye's there.
I had to meet. Well, I think Becky G is performing.
Okay.
So naturally,
did they announce who's performing, or is this?
I think Becky G and Lil Baby or something like that. I don't know.
We're not going to screen share. Don't ask. No. Doesn't work that way.
As soon as I heard Becky G was there, I had to feverishly search how fast can I get a diamond ring to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. And will she take a Zoom call from me?
I see people asking, what time is the match in certain time zones? Guys, it's like about an hour from now. All right. About an hour from now.
If Casey was here, if Casey was here, he would have a countdown, but Casey is on vacation. So
yes,
you got us.
We weren't even planning on doing this. This was decided like 5 hours ago that we were going to do.
Not only that, we weren't supposed to live stream the co-main event until about an hour ago.
Yes, plans change. It's all good.
But Becky we will be live with the post-fight press. What'd you say?
So it said Becky G's a cutie, but I'm going to nap instead. Fair.
Becky G is very.
It's a quick little power nap. 20, 30 minutes.
We will be live with the post-fight press conference on MMA Fighting's YouTube channel, though. So
yeah. Speaking of how much time it's going to take between things happening, between the main event ending and that press conference starting, could be a hot minute.
Luckily, the boxing does the thing where they bring out the fighters periodically. Who are they showing? Who is this?
I don't know. I will see in a moment.
I couldn't even tell who that was.
It's another round for Wardley.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the frig is that?
I have no idea. I saw him. I saw like the last second of him staring at the screen.
Let's see if they show it. For a second I thought it was Fat Joe, but then I saw the beard was not as cool.
For a second, I thought it was a fat Chris Eubanks from the back because I just saw a shiny head.
Let's see. Connor, do you guys have any early leans for fight of the year, knockout of the year, fighter of the year?
Say it again.
Do we have any early leans for fight of the year, KO of the year, fighter of the year for awards?
Fight of the year, all 3 of them have multiple options, especially KO of the year. Fight of the year, I think, is between Moreno, Pantoja, and Islam Volk 1. I think those are the 2. KO of the year, you got Israel, KO and Alex. You got Gaethje head kicking Dustin Poirier, and you got Islam head kicking Volkanovski.
Those are all good
it's
ones.
why, because normally the argument is like this was a better knockout, but it's like level of competition. That argument is out the window with all 3 of those, because those are literally like championship fights between like the number 1 and 2 fighters of like the divisions.
Yep.
I have no idea. I have
Moreno Pantoja is a great fight. It's really, really good.
So is Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker on that same.
That's
card.
A great fight too. That's also.
I think the only thing holding it back, it was a 3-round non-title fight, and Jalen missed weight.
KO of the year is probably like my early lean is Izzy for KO of the year. just everything that knockout meant. And he just, I mean, he wrecked Pereira with that knockout. Basically sent him out of the division. Fight of the year. It's probably Islam Volk, but it could change once I rewatch. Fighter of the year is super interesting right now.
Before we get to fight of the year, the fight of the year between Islam Volk and Pantoja Moreno are great for two different reasons. Like Volk Islam, one is just an incredible martial arts fight. And, you know, the drama's there. The crowd was there. That was an incredible scene. It was just like you're at the edge of your seat the whole time. Pantoja Moreno, 3 or whatever you want to call it, was just anarchy for 25 minutes.
I also love Gaethje Fiziev.
That's a great shout.
So if I'm picking, I don't know. I think Hooker Turner probably makes my top 5.
That was unbelievable.
Gaslam Curtis is really good.
That was a very fun. Ooh.
I'll see it in a second. You know what's going to make my top 5 as of right now? Jeff Neal versus Shavkat's going to make my top 5 as of right now.
That was this year?
Yeah. That was the same card as that was. Oh, damn.
That's a wrap, dog. And oh my God. Adeleye has made it something different. He just Max Holloway'd him. Oh my God. Adeleye, what are you doing?
You're so far ahead of me. Damn it, dude.
Adeleye.
Oh no! Oh my God! No way!
Oh what? Oh, there you go.
I'm still catching up on all those shenanigans here. Oh my God, Adeleye is, dude. He is just all right. It's over. And he shots the referee. It's over. Wow. Yeah. Wardley gets it done.
Adeleye points down and said, "Let's throw down," and Wardley's like, "Bet," and just started launching on him. And so now I believe he is the WBO European, WB, one of the WBs, Continental, and then British heavyweight champion. He gets a whole bunch of second tier belts.
Dude, that was pretty cool. That was a fun little exchange in a one-sided fight, man.
That was a very fun scrap.
That was good shit.
Who's your fighter of the year?
Oh man,
it's been a lot of inactivity and a lot of
I'll tell you what, man, and this might not be a popular choice. I'm looking at Sean Strickland right now. No one thought that this dude was going to be the freaking middleweight champion. He's 3-0, 3 main event wins with Imavov. Right. Abus, I know Abus was not a ranked dude, but still. And he beat the hell out of it.
I think the only other ones are Islam 2-0 against Volk.
Yeah.
If Leon beats Colby, he'll be 2-0, 1 against Kamar and 1 against Colby, which is very impressive. Grasso 1-0-1 against Valentina.
Yeah, she's.
I understand Valentina probably should have won that second fight just based on how the judges were doing weird stuff. Strickland's up there. Jamal Hill had fought again. He'd probably be up there.
If Pantoja beats Royval, he's up there. Dude, if Alex Pereira is going to be a nominee with a loss if he wins the light heavyweight title, that's nuts.
I'll throw you another name. Ian Machado Gary, I think, could go 4-0 if he beats Vicente Luque.
Is he? Would he be 4-0?
I believe so. It was Neil Magny, Daniel Rodriguez, and then he fought.
Oh, that's right. Song Kanan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be 4-0. I don't know if that's fighter of the year, though.
That puts him in the top 5, or at least in the discussion. Jack Della is also 3-0 right now.
Yep. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, this is gonna be one of the tighter races for fighter of the year. Sean Strickland ruined everything.
It's the inactivity.
Yeah,
that's kind of
Islam
and everything.
If Islam and Charles had fought, the winner of that fight probably wins.
And if John had beaten Stipe,
yeah, he probably gets a bunch of votes.
Yeah,
John's probably gonna win submission of the year, and it wasn't even like the craziest submission, just because of the impact. Or Alexa Grasso. Probably Alexa Grasso, actually.
Yeah, so that's probably number 1. That's probably upset of the year too, huh? No, Strickland is
Strickland. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, maybe Francis could ruin it all.
I mean, if I was just talking MMA, honestly.
Bellator mixed versus Stotts or Stotts versus Abatello. For what? Fights of the year? I don't know. We might be
those
way
last
far
year?
in there. Sean O'Malley. Good
What
win?
about because I keep forgetting it was this year, but Shavkat's standing bulldog choke thing on Jeff Neal.
That was wild, dude. That was wild.
Yair Emmett was pretty impressive off his back.
Yeah, that
Perth.
was a good one.
Bonfim Lazez, that was mounted guillotine. That was fun. I'm just trying to
the
think
other
of ones.
Bonfim has a really good knockout too. The
That's
flying knee
true.
against Terrence
That
was
is very true.
crazy.
Damon Blackshear again, a twister has to be up there.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. And then he turned around 10 days later?
No, like 7
week
days.
later. A week later. Yeah, week later.
Yeah, when Brendan Allen tapping Muniz was interesting just because it's Muniz, you know?
Yeah. In the main event that ended up becoming a main event?
Yes.
Yes. We will not be screen sharing. We're just going to tell you what's going to happen. All right. We have a winner. All right. Now it's Adeleye just battered and beaten. Still smiling, though.
Good little scrap.
Who's going to headline Toronto, if you had to guess? Oh, you have some insight.
I can't say.
Okay. Fair. Okay, now you got me all confused. I hope it's not Volkanovski's Emporia. I really hope.
I can't say.
I know you. That was supposed to be the main event. I think everybody knows that by now. Yeah, it was all but signed. But yeah, I don't think we're getting a Pena Pennington in that spot, or maybe.
Who is this guy? They keep showing him.
I'm about to see in a second.
They just showed him on like the bit. They showed like a shot from the arena, and they cut to that guy again.
Okay.
He must be the next opponent or something like that.
Oh, maybe that's a great point. Need a list of British heavyweights. Max versus Ilya is thrown out there. Valentina versus Pena.
Valentina's hurt, isn't she? She had hand surgery too.
I don't know how long
Juliana versus. It would be Juliana versus Raquel, right? If they do a vacant title fight.
Strickland DDP would be my guess, but that's if DDP says yes, because I feel like they're with Volk out, and then do they do O'Malley Tito to kick off the year? That's possible as well.
I'll say this. There are locations for the first 4 pay-per-views of the year that I've heard, and it would not make sense to put certain fighters on certain cards with the next month or so being where they are.
Oh, all right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm more confused now because I only know one location, but it's okay. It's all right. We'll figure it out.
You know, April is Vegas. That's UFC 300.
That's okay. Yeah.
And then January is 99.9% Toronto. We're literally just waiting for the UFC to confirm it. Yeah. February and March will be very interesting.
Ooh. We'll see. I mean, I assume that, they went they went full international for 3 of the first 4 pay-per-views.
They will not be doing that. They will not be doing that next year.
Okay. Yeah. They did Brazil, Sydney, or Perth, right?
It was Perth because I was there for the Super Bowl.
Brazil, Perth, and then they did Vegas, and then they did London.
Yes. Well, Vegas was, so Vegas and London were the same month. They were both March. And then April was Miami because I went from WrestleMania to Miami directly.
That's right. I wonder if they end up back in Australia in February. I don't know. We'll see.
From my understanding, I think from what I've heard that Toronto will be the only international card the first 3 months.
Ooh, okay.
That's what I've heard, but obviously things change because I also heard a lot of other locations for December 2nd, and none of them are happening.
Fair. We're getting promo videos for Ngannou Fury, which is basically just telling people, hey, this fight's going to happen, but then you'll realize.
You know, it would be good if I plugged my computer in so my ESPN pay-per-view doesn't die.
That would be a great idea. I'm watching on the TV on the wall here. We'll see what happens.
I'm on my 2-computer setup.
So we'll have the opening ceremonies. Apparently, there's going to be a musical performance of some kind. Can you please accidentally wear sunglasses so we can see the reflection of the screen? Wouldn't even help.
Yeah, my computer's here. I will put on sunglasses though.
I get the TV on the wall. Actually, I think I do have sunglasses. I don't know if it's gonna help. It's certainly not gonna help you.
Oh, those aren't the ones I needed.
Yeah, all you're gonna see is oh, here we go. All you're gonna see is just what you're watching right now. Here we go. The main event shades.
What'd I miss?
You missed nothing. The same promo.
Which ones are these? I have 3 pairs of sunglasses. All absolutely absurd. Do you want my red Leon the Professional sunglasses? Or do you want my purple Maverick sunglasses?
All right, you kind of rocking those, dude.
Or do you want my multicolored Macho Man Randy Savage glasses?
Dig it, brother. Dig it. Nice.
Freak out. And then I have my Kurt Cobain white sunglasses somewhere that I wore on the watch along party in January, somewhere around here.
That's right.
But I don't know where they are.
Who's going to headline UFC 300? If you had to take a guess, is it going to be Conor Chandler?
Dude, I thought for sure if Stipe had beaten John, the rematch would have been 300. You know, the heavyweight title, the greatest heavyweight versus the greatest fighter, part 2. That's 300 written all over it. You would have to assume it's Conor Chandler. I have no insider knowledge about this whatsoever. You just have to assume, because I can't imagine they want like Strickland DDP as like the main event of UFC 300.
I mean, look, if Strickland hasn't fought by then, they'll just throw Hamzat in there. But still, I don't see that being the main event of UFC 300.
It's such a bummer because like John, I think should have headlined it because he fought UFC 100. He was supposed to fight UFC 200, and then he would have fought UFC 300. I assume Jim Miller's going to be on UFC 300. You have any idea who's going to fight?
Jim Miller?
Mm-hmm.
No. Better be, dude. Give me Joe Lozon, bro. Like, let's just do that.
Part
Is he gonna
3?
fight another? Yeah, let's go.
He's already 2-0 on him.
I know, but that was so long ago.
I think it's going to be another. I think it's going to be another vet.
Ferguson, if he loses to Patty, would be fine. I don't know who it's going to be. Clay Guida would be fun. Somebody like that.
They already fight. I think it'll be someone
who hasn't Jim Miller fought at this point.
There's a handful.
Yeah, it should be somebody like that. I'd do Lozon again. Who gives a shit? I honestly, Max Holloway would be super fun too.
Just like Jim Miller.
It's just like a fun fight at 155. Why the hell not? Miller's blasting.
I'll throw you a name. Too. I'll throw you a name. I say this with zero inside information too. Okay. I know nothing about Jim Miller's next opponent. I want this on the record.
Yeah. It's so long from now anyways.
I'll throw you another name.
Okay.
Just got back in the USADA pool. One Irish Dragon, Paul Felder.
That's the correct answer.
That is the correct answer. I think that's the fight that you should make.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Everything I just said was wrong.
I thought Jim Miller, Tony Ferguson should have been. I think Jim Miller versus Ferguson should have been the fight until they booked the Patty fight, and then once they made that, I'm like, just make the Paul Felder fight.
So many people are asking for Masvidal versus McGregor to headline UFC 300. Masvidal's not going to fight MMA anymore, unless like
he would fight McGregor. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's true. He's about to box, apparently. Or at least he's saying he's going to box.
Islam Connor, just like Daniel Cormier predicted.
Oh God, I mean, I could not have less interest. I have more interest in this fight we're about to watch than I would have watching Islam fight Conor.
Yep. Well, he has to fight before Ramadan, right? Or right after?
Bob Sapp versus Mike Tyson.
That was supposed to happen in Pride, bro. Don't you remember?
Yep.
Dude, there's a whole generation of fighters that like fight fans that probably didn't like live through that time, and you should go back and watch it. I got so many messages being like, "Oh, are you disappointed that John is out?" And I was like, "I lived through 2012 UFC. You remember that? Like, you couldn't make like the joke was you announce a fight and then 3 weeks later it's falling apart.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think there was a single main event that lasted."
We had one of the questions on Anno was someone was asking, is there any way 2023 could beat 2016 as like the craziest year in the history of the sport?
No.
And I was like,
2016 was lightning in a bottle.
It was ridiculous, dude. And we were just like running down everything that happened in 2016, not just the storylines and the McGregor-Diaz rivalry and Rafael dos Anjos getting injured and like everything that led to Conor winning a second belt that set up the Floyd fight and like literally everything else that happened, like the arrival of Khabib Nurmagomedov, MMA being legalized in New York, UFC 205, UFC 200 debacle, like the sale of the company,
Bro,
Michael Bisping became the middleweight champion.
That stretch from, what was it, January to December is we will never see again. Because January, UFC 195 was January. That was Condit Lawler. And then February was February. You had Bisping Silva in London, which is an insane fight and such an underrated greatest of all time fights. One of the unbelievable things. And then you had 196 with Diaz McGregor 1. April 197, you got John Jones returning to fight Ovin St. Preux, and then DJ beat Henry Cejudo. 197, you got Stipe knocking out Verdum. Or no, 198, you got Stipe knocking out Verdum, Cyborg fighting at
196. The original iteration of 196 got canceled.
Yeah, RDA McGregor.
No, 196 was supposed to be Cain Velasquez versus Fabricio Verdum.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it got Stipe versus Fabricio Verdum. And then instead of canceling the card,
they made it a fight night. And it was Wonder Boy Johnny Hendricks. And that was the outcoming of Wonder Boy.
Yes. We also got on that same card, on the second fight of the night, Mickey Gall versus Mike Jackson. The winner fights CM Punk, who also fought in 2016.
UFC 204, right? Or 203? 203.
Yeah, that was the Cleveland card.
203, 204, I can match because again, 198 Stipe, 199, you had the Bisping, Rockhold, Uriah, Dom. That's the most violent card I think I've ever seen.
The first fight on that card is Polo Reyes fight. So
and
crazy.
Dan Henderson melting Hector Lombard. You got Brian Ortega melting Clay Guida. You had Max Holloway pointing at the thing against Lamas. 199 is the most violent fight card I've ever been to at the Forum. Obviously, the whole Ariel Esther Casey drama happened, which kind of stole the headlines. Then the UFC 200 debacle, and then UFC 201. Tyron Woodley just ate Robbie Lawler alive. 202 obviously speaks for itself. Diaz McGregor 2. 203 was Cleveland. 203 was Cleveland. That was Stipe Overeem, and then the CM Punk show. I think Uriah Faber lost to Jimmy Rivera on that card. I could be mistaken.
Yep.
There was a bunch of other fights that I can't
204 was Bisping Hendo, right?
Yeah, and then Mousasi Vitor was on that card too.
Yeah, that's right.
205 was 205. That was, New York, McGregor, Alvarez, Woodley, Wonder Boy.
And then freaking 206.
206 was Pettis and Holloway in Toronto.
Yep. And then
also they had
the Duho Choi Cub Swanson card. That was also the Matt Cerrone card.
And then 207 was the return of Ronda Rousey, but also in that frame, DJ beat Tim Elliott on the Tough finale, and Tony Ferguson beat RDA on the Tough Latin American finale. So they used a ton because 205 had 3 title fights, and then they had to make the interim title to headline UFC 206, and then Ronda fought, and then Cody Garbrandt beat Dominic Cruz at 207. That they used so many champions in like a 4-month span that they had to cancel the January pay-per-view.
And they lost an event. BJ Penn was supposed to fight
events.
Ricardo Lamas, and Penn got injured, and that canceled the entire card. And not to mention, Miesha Tate beating Holly Holm to win the bantamweight title.
And Amanda Nunes Amanda Nunes dethroning 53 minutes until the main event.
The frig out of here. All right, so for those 53 minutes and counting. Wow. All right,
put up a clock. Can you put up a clock, Mike?
No. They said right around 6 p.m. it would start. So I think we're going to get some pop. I hope it's not 53 minutes to the opening ceremonies.
God, I hope not.
I will friggin' lose my mind. I will lose my mind. Ramadan is March 9th through April 10th. Islam and Shemaev cannot fight during Ramadan. Okay. 53 minutes, guys. I'm sorry. Jesus Christmas. We're going to have a lot of talking. I think people are filing into the arena. So at least I think hopefully they will start the opening ceremonies pretty soon. Pretty soon.
One can dream.
One could dream. We will dream. So until then, if you guys got questions, you have thoughts, let's go. Fire away. Let's party.
Do you remember UFC 208?
208.
Don't blame me if you don't remember it.
Oh God,
you were there.
Yeah,
I was there.
I was there. Yes, that was Jesus. That was that was Brooklyn. Yeah. That was Holly Holm versus Jermaine Durandamy, and that card was awful. If Dustin Poirier and Jim Miller didn't fight on that card, that would have been the worst pay-per-view of all time.
Which is wild considering, like, if I remember correctly, those prelims, not the main card, but the prelims had some big names presently.
Yes.
Islam fought on I think he was like the second fight of the night.
Yes.
And I know Bilal Muhammad was on that card too.
Were you there too? Did you cover that event?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go to the Habib Q&A?
Yes, I did, and he was real annoyed the entire time.
Yes. I had never really seen anything quite like that in my life.
Yeah,
like
pretty wild.
That was certainly the day that I realized Habib was, if he wasn't a star already, he was going to be one. That scene at the end where he was like, oh yeah, Ali's like, all right, you guys can come around and like ask questions or whatever. And then like everyone swarmed on Habib. And I have this photo somewhere where I like take an overhead shot and it's just all these people surrounding Habib. Ali is freaking out. And Habib is just like, you could just see the top of his head. And I could not believe it. It was so friggin' wild, man. And I also realized how popular Ariel was that time because I was standing out next to him. We're waiting for, because you couldn't park there. You had to valet at this place. So we're both waiting for our cars. And every fan on earth was coming up to take a picture of Ariel. I'm just standing next to him like, yeah, man, here we are. Freezing my ass off February in Brooklyn. And then I remember I had to drive home before the post-fight press conference because they were going to get a blizzard where I was from, and I didn't want to get stuck in Brooklyn. That card was stinky. And then we get 209. Jose. Do you remember? This is the card where we're supposed to get Tony Ferguson versus.
Do I remember?
Tony Ferguson versus Habib for the lightweight title in the co-main event, and we obviously know what happened with Habib at weigh-ins. Do you remember what the co-main event of UFC 209 was?
Not only do I remember, I know every single fight on that main card. I know every winner. I might not remember who they beat, but I know Wonder Boy lost to Woodley in a terrible fight, or terrible in terms of like lack of action. I know David Tamer beat Lando Venata in the co-main event. I know that for a fact. I know Dan Kelly beat Rashad. Was that on this card? Okay. I know like Rashad's fought a bunch in Vegas and they all blend together. I know Cynthia Calvillo won, but I don't remember who she fought. And I believe, because I remember this because I know who I interviewed at Media Day. I know Overeem beat Mark Hunt because Mark Hunt went on that mad rant about USADA and the UFC and everything at Media Day. And Overeem was like, whatever. And I'm trying to think who else was on that card.
Calvillo versus Amanda Bobby Cooper was the second fight.
Oh, yes. I know Mark Godbeard beat someone because I interviewed Mark Godbeard in the lobby of his hotel after the fight.
Daniel Spitz.
Oh, and I know Darren Elkins head kicked Mirsad Bektic on that card.
That fight was friggin'
That was a good fight.
That was an incredible fight. One of the greatest calls in the history of the sport.
Yes.
First fight was Albert Morales beating Andre Sukumta. Tyson Pedro, Paul Craig.
Pride of Rhode Island, Andre Sukumta.
Godbeer Spitz, Yuri Alcantara versus Luke Sanders, who was dating Becky Lynch at the time.
That's right. Oh, because I met Becky Lynch that week.
Yep. And then the main card, that was just awful. I gotta look up UFC 208. I remember Anderson Silva, Derek Brunson, and Silva got gifted a decision there.
I know Islam was on the prelims. I know Bilal was on the prelims.
Yep. Bilal took that fight on like a week's notice against Randy Brown.
Yeah.
Jacare beat Tim Boach in like 2 minutes at the Kimura.
I don't think, was that the original fight?
No, Boach took it on short notice. Jacare is supposed to fight. Who the fuck? Who was supposed to fight? I don't remember. We lost Ian McCall, Jared Brooks. This is the beginning of the Ian McCall curse.
Right.
Like the day of the card, we lost that one.
Right.
Glover Teixeira, Jared Cannonier. Poirier Miller was.
I forgot about that.
Poirier Miller was the main card opener. That fight was.
Yeah, that was a good fight. That was like kind of the ascent of Dustin's run at lightweight.
Ryan LaFleur, Rowan Carneiro.
Oh my god.
Ricky Glenn, Philippe Nover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Islam Makhachev, Nick Lentz. Yep. Wilson Hayes versus Ulka Sasaki. Bilal Muhammad, Randy Brown.
That's a fight.
And that's a good one. That's a good one. Little Baby is here. They're saying Becky G is here, and there's going to be a performance with the same producers that do the Super Bowl halftime show, that do the opening of the Olympic Games in just moments. All right, so we're at least going to get the opening ceremonies. The ring walks in the ring will come out of the ground once that staging is removed on the railroad tracks. I don't know what that's going to look like, but boy, am I excited for it. Okay. So the fans have piled inside this arena that looks really cool. That like Jumbotron in the back is pretty cool.
I think this is where they've had one or two crown jewels for WWE.
Yes.
Not that big. It's
how many people? Like 10,000 maybe, if that.
15,000 maybe. I can't see. Obviously,
it is pretty
can't
cool
see the whole thing.
But people are packing in. All right, so we're going to get some opening ceremonies. We'll let you know what you think. Our Slack channel is something else. All right, let's keep the questions coming here. Could the UFC have Islam and Shemaiah for a fight for the Saudi Arabia fight night since it can't fight during Ramadan?
I don't think they're putting them on fight nights.
Yeah.
Especially because there's a pay-per-view, I think, the week after or before that.
Who will O'Malley's next opponent be? I think it's pretty obvious.
I think it's going to be Cheeto. Right? I think we're just waiting for the contract.
Yep. I like the Merab Cejudo idea. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Probably in Toronto.
Maybe. But it makes sense. It's a damn good main event. It's up. Did you drop a... All right. Either fans of college football. Are you a college football fan, Jose?
I went to ASU, baby.
That's
ASU.
True. Who else? That's it?
I mean, I'm from Providence, so we didn't really have a... Like, PC doesn't have
true.
a school. URI wasn't a powerhouse. So, like, I grew up, like, the only college football quote-unquote, powerhouse, and I use that term loosely, that was relevant in anything, was Boston College. So, you know, like Matt Ryan and all those cats. So I think I always supported them, but they were never I was much more interested in like watching players because I was really into the NFL draft. So I never really had a team I rooted for. I just kind of monitored players' routes through the NCAA.
Yeah. I was super
into the half my school was like, because I went to like half of Rhode Island and Boston is Catholic, so everyone was just obsessed with Notre Dame. So I was like, Rudy was an okay movie.
It's a good movie. Will we see Ikram fight Hamza? They already fought. Hamza beat him, but I would like to see it again someday.
Yeah, I think it will happen. But Ikram himself said, we asked him at his post-fight interview that he expects it to happen, but he fully understands the UFC is probably going to keep them separate until like it's either #1 contender fight or for the title.
Who wins the Patchy Mix Sergio Pettis fight?
We got
One of them be fighter of the year.
I'll answer that in a second, but we got Kamaru and Israel shot in Francis's locker room.
There they are.
Anyway, what was the question?
Who wins the Patchy Mix Sergio Pettis fight? And is one of those guys potentially in the fighter of the year discussion? Whoever wins.
For sure. I thought Patchy was a pretty easy pick, but Sergio's victory over Patricio was so impressive that now I think it's a lot closer. I thought there was a moment in time. There was a moment in time where I thought Patchy Mix could be the best bantamweight in the world. I still think that he could be, but I think the fight against Sergio is now so much more interesting now that he had that very dominant win over Patricio.
Yeah, that was an incredible performance.
That was an unbelievable performance.
That is the low, like if someone's like, what's the low key banger of 2023? It's that fight. And it's not even really low key but it's not a fight that's going to be mentioned by a lot of fans, like right off the top of their heads. But yeah, that's
because it wasn't the main event. The problem is Bellator has had these big cards and they keep picking the wrong main event. And then the main event is like dominant, but not exciting. Like Usman and Brent Primus and like Nemkov, Yoel were like impressive performances, but Cyborg should have been the main event, UFC 300, Cyborg Cat, and then the main event of whatever one that was should have been Sergio Patricio.
Man, that's such a good fight. I can't freaking wait. What's the main? Oh God, what is the main event of that Bellator 301 card? Amosov and Jason Jackson.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with Amosov getting it. I did it first, and then you're kind of like,
no, it should have been that.
Yeah.
It should have been that. You know, everything happening in the world. He deserves main event.
Of course. I know. I completely agree. I didn't really think about that, and I was like, I feel like a complete asshole right now. Is the walkout side as cool as the Pride walkout? We'll see.
I mean, Pride set the bar. Pride set the bar for sure.
Did. Do we have a word on Hassan Magomedsharipov fought in September? I don't see anything booked. Probably not right now.
Not right now.
Hamzat Sean Strickland headline UFC 298 Los Angeles. Maybe.
Nah. Not in Los Angeles.
How much do you like UFC pacing compared to boxing pacing between fights?
This is okay. This is an anomaly. This is not always like this for boxing. This is very much like they're putting a spectacle on.
Yes.
So if you watch a Canelo fight, it's not this long. Also, boxers, the walk time, like the phrase, the question, when do the fighters walk, is much more prevalent in boxing than MMA, because MMA, you just roll.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I loved what Sean O'Malley said, where the best fight on the card to be a part of is the first fight of the pay-per-view, because you have to hit that time so you know when you're fighting. Yeah. Like if the pay-per-view starts at 7, they cannot start it at 6:30, and you can't start it at 7:30. You start at 7. And that was always his favorite part to watch. Boxing, you got all this. You got, especially on pay-per-view, you got all this stuff. So I get it.
Yeah, I covered the Jake Paul Nate Diaz card, and I think there were like 6 fights on the main card, and then like 4. Yeah. There was like 10 fights on the card, but it just went boom, 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 one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Even like once the Amanda Serrano fight ended, they went right into Jake Paul Nate Diaz. There was not a lot of time to be wasted.
Same for Anderson Jake Paul, but I also think that, and historically, what Matchroom does that a lot too. And I don't know this because they never said that, but I think they're taking a lot of cues from like UFC production. You know, the UFC, like you got the open workouts, you got the press conference, you got the weigh-ins, you got the fights, and then you have the post-fight press conferences, and the press conferences are now individual rather than like all of them spread out. So I think the Jake Paul camp and the Matchroom camp are really taking cues from UFC, how they lay out fight weeks. Now, if they could get soundboards that work, that would be another thing.
That would be incredible. Jeez, dude. I was never so upset covering a card in my life.
Welcome to my life, dude. Welcome to my life, bro.
How do you screw that up? And I told them that was happening too. They did not care.
If there's been a technical issue, I have experienced it.
Oh, you're the king. You're the king of it.
The best is when we were in Singapore and the audio techs didn't turn the mics on for the translators for Road to the UFC, and none of the people could speak English. So if we didn't watch any of those videos because we didn't put them out. But I interviewed every single fighter. Jose interviewed every fighter. Other people just recorded. And I would ask a question, and if you watch the video, I ask a question, and then it's like 10 seconds of dead silence because the translator is translating. You just couldn't hear it. And then the fighter would answer, and then 10 seconds of silence because there was no. Topnoy was the only one we posted because he spoke English, and he's the one that smoked the cigarette after his fight.
That's right. Right now, at least according to my screen, we are 37 minutes and 20 seconds away.
And I'm 37:10.
Okay. You're going to have to freeze for like 10 seconds before this fight starts so we can watch it at the same time. But yeah, around 37 minutes.
I'll freeze it right now. Tell me when you're at 37.
All right, go. Okay. 07, 06, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 37. There we go.
Tell me when you're at 36:48.
Okay. 52, 51, 50, 49, 48. 36:48. Here we go.
There you go. So now we're at 36:43, 2, 1, 0. Yep,
exactly. Right. Absolutely perfect. 36 minutes, 35 seconds till this fight starts. Okay? That's where
golden.
Keep the questions coming here.
God, I hope it's not 36 minutes till the opening ceremony.
Oh, I will fucking lose my mind if that happens.
It would be one thing if we were in the, the comfy walls of the MMA Hour studio, but
yes. Yeah.
What's your office? What are you looking at? What are you looking at, Mike?
I have a TV on the wall up here. Okay. The little TV here. So basically we converted our garage into
I didn't know this.
Space studio. Yeah.
I have a signed vinyl of The Weeknd that he signed for me. I got a painting of Frank Ocean that someone gifted me. I have a UFC. I'll tell you this. You'll like this one. I have a UFC 189 poster with Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor.
Damn. That's friggin' nuts.
I have it, and then over there I have you won't be able to see it because it's behind everything, but I have UFC 200 John Jones versus Cormier.
From 200?
Yeah. I have the poster with DC and John. And I have the poster with DC and Anderson. And next to the 189 with Aldo McGregor, I have the exact one except with Mendez McGregor. So I have all of the canceled ones. And then
do you have UFC 51? Do you have UFC 151 posters?
No, but you know what the coolest piece of memorabilia that the journalist that I've seen is, so John Morgan has he's been covering the sport longer than anyone I know. He's with the Underground now, but obviously he did it with USA Today and Junkie for years. Did you were covering the sport back in the day when we would get a program and a mini poster?
Yes. Well,
so that UFC,
used to be one of the UFC events I covered. I got the Albany card.
That used to be the norm, where when you checked in, you got credential, they give you a poster about yay big, and then the program, the official program, which is usually not that big, but the UFC 200, UFC 194, and UFC 162 are huge. They're like coffee table books. They are my coffee table books. I have my credential for 196 because I had auxiliary seating because it was at the MGM Grand. It has your ticket, your seat. 196 says RDA versus McGregor. So that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
But John Morgan has a UFC 159 John Jones versus Dan Henderson ticket to the MGM, which is, I think, one of the coolest things. It's framed on his wall. Yeah, it's very neat.
That's pretty
because
cool.
he's lived in Vegas forever, so he's been to the MGM forever. And one of them goes, "We don't need these anymore," and they gave him one.
So for those asking still, if you're just joining us, we're about 33 minutes away from this fight starting. Oscar De La Hoya in the crowd.
You see, Oscar took a photo with Conor. Oscar De La Hoya took a photo with Conor McGregor backstage, which was very
I did see that.
Considering how many things that art or better be of is you know, should be fighting Bivol next. He's on the screen right
There's
now.
Chuck Liddell.
The Iceman.
Having a time in Saudi Arabia.
I hope they don't interview him. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
It was very difficult watching Larry Holmes be interviewed. There, speak of the devil.
There he is. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was rough.
That was rough.
Larry Holmes, pro, man. He got out of there real fast.
Larry Holmes is, I think, the most underappreciated heavyweight ever.
I actually have a poster, a signed poster on the wall behind me. Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, Caesar's Palace, October 2nd, 1980, the last hurrah.
Yep.
I have the poster.
Did Muhammad Ali sign it?
Yes, they both signed it.
Does it say Cassius Clay?
I don't know.
I
got it for free. I got some cool stuff.
My old college roommate has boxing gloves. Did you just get a big like glitch screen on your
I
screen?
Sure did.
Yeah. All right. It's been doing that for a bit. But my old college roommate has a boxing glove signed by Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. And he signed it Muhammad Ali, aka Cassius Clay.
That's pretty cool.
So he would do that for a bit and then he stopped doing that. So I don't know how involved you are in like the autograph world, but my college roommate and his dad, they were deep into it, right? Because they lived in New York, so they'd go to all the autograph signings. And he said that Muhammad Ali autographs are not worth anything because he would do the circuit. Like he would just go to anything and sign anything, you know what I'm saying? So they're not hard to find, but getting one that says AKA Cassius Clay, those are hard to find specifically.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I don't think the AKA ended up on mine.
His most valuable autograph is he has a bat signed by it that he got signed. He got
a baseball bat?
A baseball. No, he has a baseball bat signed by Mickey Mantle before he died.
Oh, geez.
That's his. No. That's his like pride and joy because he's a Yankees fan and Mickey Mantle like obviously passed away like what 20, 30 years ago. He was a little kid when he got it. And the only reason he got it is because he was a little kid. Mickey Mantle didn't want to sign anything. And he saw my college roommate run up and ask for an autograph.
31 minutes, 3 seconds, folks. That's where we're at right now. 31
Dewey
minutes.
Cooper and Francis.
They're warming up.
Stuff.
They're doing some stuff.
I am always intrigued by like when Nate fought Jake or when you see these guys, like we've seen Francis and Nate hit pads a million times in boxing gloves, but we've never seen them in a boxing match. And this will truly be the first and unique experience.
For sure.
Francis looks. What did Francis weigh in at? Like 270, something like that.
It was like 272 or something like that.
Unreal.
30 minutes, 22 seconds, folks. So I think what they're going to do, I think they said the opening ceremony and the music stuff's going to be 20 minutes. So I assume that's going to start in like 10 minutes and then they'll walk and do all that fun stuff. So hopefully that's what happens.
Well, I've scheduled, so you can see our post-fight press conference is scheduled to go live at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Probably not happening, but I do that based off of because I got a schedule emailed to me from Top Rank, and they're like, we expect the press conference to start at 3 p.m. Pacific. I'm like, in what world is that going to happen?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Last UFC pay-per-view was only 24 minutes of octagon time. That's longer than our weight still.
here's something else I'll tell you, Mike. I was talking with John Anik about this at the airport coming back from Sydney. It's interesting that you brought up UFC 194 because 294 because John and I were saying UFC 293, which is Israel Strickland, might have had the least amount of total grappling from top to bottom, from the first fight to the main event in the history of the UFC. Because if you look at there was not a lot of grappling in that at all.
Nope.
Like Volkov and Ty was like the closest thing we got. It was a lot of like bangers.
That was a good card. 29 minutes, folks. 29 minutes. That's where we're at right now. Are we not streaming here? No, because you can't. You can't stream here. Do you think Francis having 40 pounds more of muscle compared to Deontay Wilder will help Francis?
I don't know. I can't speak on how people react to their like physiology, but Tyson has fought some big guys. Like he's fought Klitschko, he's fought Dillian White. He's fought Deontay Wilder. He's fought big guys.
Now Francis is sleeping. Like most people waiting for this fight to start.
The promo package.
Yeah, this is actually really good. Tyson just chucking the ball at the wall. They did a good job with this promo. This is like, yeah, this is the first promo they did.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Yeah. Nicely done.
They did something. They didn't do like a package like this, but when Brock fought Overeem, that was what it was like. All the posters, like they would have their heights and weights, and they just looked like monsters in there. That was very fun.
Man, what a time. The Brock Lesnar era. Do you think Francis will dance well alongside Fury, and will cardio be a factor in this fight?
I don't know, man. It's tough to say because we've like all of these questions I don't know because we've never seen Francis fight 3-minute rounds. How many rounds is 10 rounds or whatever?
10 rounds.
10 rounds. We've never seen that. And like we've seen Tyson Fury do it. Now, boxing is much different because a lot of people will point to like, oh, Francis used to fighting 5 rounds. 5 rounds, you got to pace, or 5-minute rounds, 5-minute rounds, you got to pace yourself because fighting for 5 minutes is a long time. Fighting for 3 minutes is a sprint. So I don't know. I truly don't know.
We shall see, my friends. We shall see. Even like the broadcast itself is like, man, we have a lot of time to fill. The lights are out. Looks like we're going to start something, but 26 minutes, 55 seconds and counting before this fight happens. Let's ask the people here. So let me pull up the odds right now. We'll play a fun little prop game with all the peeps here.
While you do that, I'm gonna go fill up my water bottle because I'm not gonna get an opportunity once this main event starts.
All right. So I'll take over here. Let me pull it up here. All right. What do you guys think? So obviously Fury is probably gonna be the popular pick here. Over under 5.5 rounds right now. Overs at over 5.5 at -130 according to DraftKings. Under 5.5 -105. So 5.5 rounds. That's what people are looking at here. You guys think this fight goes over or under 5.5 rounds? What do you think? Let me know. Let's pull it up. Let's give you guys a voice here. Over under 5.5 rounds. Over 5.5. Over for sure. A lot of people saying over here. Good luck. Is there an alternative number of 3.5 rounds? I'll take that, perhaps. A lot of over. Jose, a lot of people over 5.5 is the over-under. A lot of overs here. Under 5. All right, mostly overs, though. Maybe we'll throw up a poll. How about that? I'll throw up a poll here. We'll mess around and do a freaking poll.
How many people are watching? I don't have any of the data.
2253 right now.
Wow.
Start a poll. Fury versus Ngannou. Over under 5.5 rounds. We'll get the poll here. Over, under. All right, poll's live. There you go. Let's have some fun. A lot of overs here. It'll be interesting to see how this poll works. All right, votes are coming in here at a frantic pace. Over just running away with this thus far. Some unders, over 6 rounds, over 7 rounds. We'll see. Let's see if there's any other like fun prop bets. You would think for a fight like the Mayweather McGregor, like one of the cool things about that was they had like the best prop bets for those, just out of
Mayweather
nowhere.
McGregor.
Yeah, there's just so many fun prop bets.
I have never placed a bet in my entire life, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we like I did a podcast where we just had to guess.
What is this cameraman
like Super Bowl
doing?
props. Yeah, this is bad, man. The production
cameraman just keeps cutting to like people's feet.
It's all over the place. There's Sugar Ray.
Did you see Roberto
JDS?
Duran say he would want to rematch Sugar Ray in Saudi?
Really? I
And
didn't
I'm
see
like,
that.
don't even. Let's not make that a thing.
There's Frank
Though
Mir.
he did play with it. Wow, Frank Mir, love that. He needs to get more opportunities breaking down fights. But
Yeah, he's
Roberto
so
Duran
good,
was like,
man.
I'm more experienced and I have more years now. Oh, Rampage. Now I
Shut-
can. I know how to deal with a fighter like Sugar Ray. I'm like, that was like 50 years ago.
What are you talking about? He's 90 years old. Frank Mir. Jeez Louise. Let me see some of these
Frank Mir.
interesting prop lines. Either fighter to be knocked down in rounds 1 through 3, minus 120, which means Vegas feels it's very likely that somebody gets knocked down in the first 3 rounds. Ngannou to be knocked down 2+ times at minus 110. Damn. Not a lot of confidence here. If you want to really make some money, the biggest line you can bet on right now on DraftKings is there's 2. Both fighters to be knocked down at the same time. Or you can go Fury to be knocked down 2+ times and Ngannou wins by decision. Those are both at plus 20,000. So you guys want to?
If I bet $1, I win 20 grand.
No, if you bet 100, you'd win 20 grand.
God, boxing. I mean, betting is so silly.
If you bet 100, you get $200 for $1.
I don't understand betting at all. I don't understand the appeal.
I mean, look, it's like people who bet on. It's like people who play fantasy football.
Yeah, but I don't have to like put actual money up
for fantasy football. Well, I mean, look, yeah, you don't have.
I don't do that. I just do it for bragging rights.
All right. I mean, that's fine.
Or like fun. Who is this performing right now?
I have no idea.
This looks like Mos Def, but it's definitely not Mos Def.
I thought it was for second.
Who is this?
Is it Mos Def? Who the hell is it? No. I have no idea who it is. Can somebody tell me who this is?
This looks like a Triller Fight Club.
It does. Have you attended a Triller event yet?
No.
I got to attend the one they moved across the country.
Was that the 9/11 one? With Vitor Belfort?
Yes, the Vitor Belfort, Evander Holyfield.
Who is this guy? This is a wild performance.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to hit up the Slack here. I need to know. Does the chat know? Flodan and Skrillex song called Rumble.
I have no idea.
All right. Fair.
This is an awesome performance, though.
There's a lot happening right now.
We got, really cool. What did you say, Flodan? Is that it?
Flodan or Flodon? Is it still like 30 minutes away? We should be 20 minutes away now. We should be 20 minutes away. If the countdown clock is accurate. Nope, not saying that.
This is such a good performance.
Except for the glitches in the screen, which continue to happen. Top Rank's gotta get their shit together. This is tough. But it looks cool, like especially like with this arena when they're panning it around because it's like a circular arena. It looks really cool. This is a very Super Bowl-ish halftime show.
Big
or halftime show-ish performance. Let me see what the poll is at right now.
Maybe he performs that song that they keep playing in all the packages.
You could be right. Very WrestleMania-esque. So far, the poll, over under 5.5 rounds, over 58%. What an idiot. I spelled under. Can I edit it? No, I can't freaking edit it. You guys know what I mean. Over or Uner? Over beating Uner by 16%.
This is a very good performance.
It's a lot happening right now.
You know they give Emmys. They give Emmys for live performances.
They do?
Yeah, for like live production. This has to be up there for like a nomination.
Okay,
because like the Super Bowl and the Grammys and this was Lil Baby.
Lil Baby, okay.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear, because I think one of the lamest, I think one of the lamest bits that people do online is, that's not a baby, I'm too old. But. Like they just act like they're old, like they act like old men, and like that's like something you need to brag about. Like back in my day, we didn't have little baby like that. He's performing. Relax. Like
It's fine.
It's not your music.
The only time I felt out of place.
Go ahead.
I felt out of place one time covering an event, and it was Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley 2. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I really didn't. Like in the building, like the amount of applause that random people were getting.
See, I don't understand
what the hell is going on.
I don't understand the streamers or the TikTokers. It's just not my world. Like, go for it, man. Like, if you're making money and people love you, do it. Just don't do anything totally negative. Like, Lil Baby has said some pretty dumb things at like concerts. So I am not even remotely a fan of him as a human being whatsoever. Dude has bars though. Like he has some good bars. He's also incredibly popular with the young world.
It started with two tracks. Apparently it started with two tracks playing over each other. Good God. I love it. This is incredible.
Because I love it because I'm not listening to it. It's on mute for me because I don't want my mic to pick it up. Aesthetically, this is an astounding performance.
Yes. It's very visually appealing. There's a lot happening, a lot of graphics, a lot of video, a lot of effects, lightning, fire, you name it, they got it.
Good choreography. Good stage.
True. Someone's asked about Israel Adesanya, and we don't know what's going to happen, but if we're going to play the over-under game, let's say over-under November 2024.
I think way before that.
You think he fights?
I bet he fights a UFC 300.
Really? You think he fights in April?
Do. Yep.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if they hold Volk from not fighting January and stick him in April too.
That would be I'd be okay with. Volk Topuria, the
problem is like if Conor fights, they're not going to put other champions on there.
You don't think so?
They might just, no, I don't think Conor would take that fight because Conor would have to be the main event, and the champions would have to get pay-per-view points. And champions would get pay-per-view points. I don't think Conor wants fighters to make money off of his name being at the top. Like he hasn't fought. There hasn't been another champion on the undercard for a Conor fight since UFC 205. And he wasn't even he was not the. There's my girl, Becky G.
It was Becky G. Okay.
In a jail cell for whatever reason. She did play the Yellow Power Ranger in like the 2016 Power Rangers movie.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I actually very much enjoyed that movie, but I digress.
Becky G. All right. I think there's only one more act here. Is this it?
This is wild because this is crazy. So the Arizona State Fair is happening right now, right? It's like a month-long thing. It's at the Arizona Fairgrounds. And Becky G is going to perform at the Arizona Fairgrounds as well. But she's also performing on this insane stage right now. Like, I don't understand like the rhyme or reason behind that. Because she could sell out an arena down the street, especially because she's like a Hispanic performer. Like Peso Pluma sold out the entire Footprint Center. But Bad Bunny sold out Chase Field.
Just trying to multitask here. So let's see the clock. 14 minutes. Should be 14 minutes. This is pretty cool. Like if I can't hear
aesthetically
anything.
it is an astounding performance.
It's like a cell phone commercial, like a really good cell phone commercial.
Yep.
I
have no idea what that means, but yes.
Yeah, it's like our camera's better than your camera on our phone. Look at this.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
This is pretty cool. I realize I never tweeted out that this is happening, so I have to change gears to like, hey, they're finally walking out.
Becky G performed at Coachella too. She's a global star. I think she performs at Carol G, who's another big Hispanic performer.
Is that it? We got more? What the hell's going on here?
Our Slack channel, that is truer words were never spoken.
Yes. The whole pay-per-view shot on an iPhone 14 Plus.
Someone said, one of our coworkers, like, concert was cool. Would have liked it more if it was an hour ago.
Yes. Jeez.
Yes.
There's nothing happening an hour ago. There's literally nothing happening an hour ago.
Now we have some, what is this?
Must be the opening ceremony. This is the opening ceremony.
Becky G is back. Obviously, the more Becky G, the better.
Okay, so this is still the opening ceremony.
It's very interesting because like Lil Baby and Becky G, they usually perform in like, you know, tank tops and like all this fashionable stuff, but like you can't do that in Saudi Arabia.
No, you cannot. I understand why people are like, when is this freaking fight gonna start? I agree. I hear you. I feel your pain. Trust me, we'd love to be talking about this fight right now. We really would.
I mean, I don't know about you, Mike, but if there's one thing I could talk about for an hour that's not Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, it's Becky G. I'm not gonna lie.
Go. Wax poetically.
Well, see, Becky G just hasn't met me yet, so that's her first problem. The second problem is I don't have any way to like FaceTime her, so she's also missing out. If anyone has that, you relay a message to her.
Yeah, don't ask for the stream here. All right, we're ending the poll here. Over 56%, 55%, 55% over 5.5 rounds. Uner or under 44%. I'll do another poll that someone suggested. Okay. Did you buy Fury versus Ngannou? Boom. There you are. There's your other poll. That's a good one. When start the match? 11 minutes, apparently. 11 minutes. It appears to be. I hope it's not 11. Oh, God, it better not be 11 minutes till the opening ceremony. I mean, this is supposed to be the opening ceremony, so.
This is a neat opening ceremony.
It is pretty cool. But I thought like opening ceremony is let's introduce the fighters and all that stuff. I ain't trying to get you to snitch. I'm just curious. If I thought everybody was going to buy this, we wouldn't be doing this right now. The price tag is crazy. The $80 for this thing is nuts, dude. It's way too much.
$80 for a crazy concert and a heavyweight title
fights. Yeah, and 2 fights. Becky G wrapping up, gets a round of applause.
Bring her back. I hope she's the ref.
Have her.
Now we have a drum line. What the
glow in the dark drums? Dude, that's pretty cool. Is this the ring reveal?
It looks like we have glow in the dark drum line, but they're standing in what appears to be the cave from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Okay, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's all been pretty cool to watch.
What in the world? Mike, you can do that, right?
What, play the drums like that?
Yeah.
Nah, dude. No.
There's one thing if there's one thing you need to know about Mike Heck, and I hope this carries over into all future shows, is that his favorite movie of all time is Drumline, starring Nick Cannon.
That's literally not the case at all. Never even seen it.
That's the new Happy Birthday AK, by the way, chat.
Nah, they got catch on. No way. Says
you.
You can't even. I don't even know anything about it. Like if I watched it and could tell you a little bit about it, then then the gimmick plays. But this one doesn't play very well.
Yeah. You don't have to downplay it, Mike.
This drum thing is pretty cool though.
These screens are neat, but I just you know would be great, a heavyweight fight.
That would be awesome. It would be awesome. At least like. Not even the fight. Just have them walking to the...
Yeah.
Bring up the damn ring. Bring up the friggin' ring.
True. We've been talking about it enough. I want to see this ring.
Yeah. I mean, the whole broadcast, like the ring is going to come out of the ground on a subway trail, on a subway track. So bring the friggin' ring up. Is this it? Please tell me this is the friggin' ring reveal. Nope. More people coming on stage.
Is Becky G back? Oh, it
No, who
seems
the
to be
hell is it?
everybody.
Oh,
It's the same guy.
All right.
It's Flo Dan
Odan is back.
and Lil Baby.
Lil Baby's there.
I like their outfits. Oh, look at Lil Baby has the same sunglasses as me.
There you go.
Or no, what's his name? Flo Dan has the same sunglasses as me. Oh, they could see these are two mirrored. They could see the performance on my sunglasses.
Oh, sweet.
It's just all reversed and tiny.
Seven minutes. We might be.
Siete minutos, por favor.
We're trying. God, we're trying. Let's get here. Can we just fast forward 7 minutes? It'd be awesome.
It's the infinity cube floating in the air. Oh, the phantom zone. There it is.
There's the ring! Finally! And it's still under the ground.
They're on a conveyor belt, a circular conveyor belt. Here's what could they possibly use this for ever again?
I don't know.
I mean, if they're going to have more events, why not, right?
I mean, the Octagon coming up from there? I mean, the
Bro,
PFL is
this
definitely
is the
doing
neatest thing. This is so cool.
I could definitely see PFL.
These are
like, watch
the
this,
same,
guys.
These look like the same lights as when Tyson Fury walked out to fight Braun Strowman.
That's pretty cool.
Now we're in Tron somehow.
Right, go inside. Driving me crazy.
Mike is someone is saying something to Mike, so I'll take over. We still got Lil Baby. We still got Flo Dan. I would imagine people on site are also like, let's move along. Like, let's actually get a boxing match. I also don't quite understand why they cut off half the arena for this stage. Is that strange? Is it not, Mike? It's like a Bellator thing.
It's very Bellator. That was like one of the things it's reminded me of. It's very Bellator.
Except when Stephen Bonner, RIP, fought for Bellator, he had the rapper Stitches walk him out.
Oh, man.
And he performed his hit single, Brick in Your Face. I'm like, all right, Stitches.
That's very Stephen Bonner-esque right there.
I don't think that was his choice. I think that was Spike TV or whatever choice. That's when he fought Tito Ortiz.
Ranch or blue cheese, Jose?
Blue cheese, bro. I'm an adult. Come on.
I'm not a big blue cheese guy. I'm just not. I don't know why. I don't hate it, but it ain't my first choice.
Now, I agree. I'm not one of those guys. So, like, if you only have ranch and you present me with ranch, I will eat it, but I'm never seeking it out.
Yes, I'm with you. I usually eat wings without any sauce at all. Like, I'll only use the ranch to like dip the carrots and the celery.
Really depends. It really depends on the flavor that I get. If I get a Cajun dry rub, I don't need anything. But if I get like a buffalo drippy sauce, I don't need anything. But if I get like a teriyaki sauce, a little blue cheese looks good, feels good.
Yeah. Blue cheese. Some of the comments are great. Blue cheese or GTFO, Boston stinks, go Bills.
You know what?
That comment doesn't age very well right now. After you just lost to the worst team in the league.
We can swear on this, right?
Yeah, dude. We've already done it.
You know what Joey Diaz, one of his original sayings was that he sold merch for? I'm not a Joey Diaz fan, but I almost bought this shirt because it was very funny. Someone, I don't know who it was, but someone asked him, they go, ranch or blue cheese? And he said, blue cheese or fuck your mom. So he made shirts that said that. I'm like, that is very funny.
Oh, God. That's hilarious. Such a great line.
But when you hear that, you can hear Joey Diaz's accent when you hear it.
Oh, it just as soon as you said it, I nailed it.
And he's just like talking out the side of his mouth. All right, that is a sick arena shot. It looks like they're fighting in a canyon. Good. That is a sick arena shot.
I love the lighting on the ring too.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Does this mean it's about to happen?
Do you remember when Mike Tyson just walked out to the sound of iron clanging against each other in like gray hoodie? Remember those days?
Those are the days.
Here's your bet. Here's your bets, Mike.
All right, -4. I guess this is going to close. -1400. Come back on Ngannou +750. Over under 1.5 rounds closing. -110 over. -125 under. Win by KO, TKO, DQ. Fury minus 550. Francis plus 850. Look, if you're betting on Francis Ngannou, you should probably just bet
If
him
you're
by
crazy
finish.
enough to bet on Francis Ngannou, just throw money on going the distance, because why not? You're already throwing money away.
Yes. Or go by just do one of the crazy bets where it's like plus 20,000.
I really like Francis's fight kit.
It is pretty cool. Francis getting the mitts tied up here. And we're back to the broadcast team.
Timothy Bradley in the middle.
Yep. I mean, this is still on where the clock was. It said 2 minutes. 6:03 p.m. Eastern. So we should be like 2 minutes away from the walk starting, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the desk. No UFC card this weekend. Yeah, man, this is PFL pacing. This might be worse than PFL pacing.
This is Fox Sport. This is UFC on FS1 pacing.
Oh, remember those days where everyone used to complain about the UFC putting on fight night cards on Fight Pass? Those were the best, dude.
Oh.
There are no commercials, nothing. Just boom, 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 boom. Those are the best events. The Rafael dos Anjos, Eddie Alvarez event was like one of my all-time favorite events to watch because we watched like 13 fights in 2 hours, including a title fight. It was awesome.
It was great for me too. I was just there. That was a super stressful week because we had 3 fight cards in like 3 days.
I kind of would. Do you miss that?
I don't mind the Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. You know how they do that? Like they did in Abu Dhabi that one time. I don't miss the 3 fights in 3 days because we had one of those where it was, I think Thursday was Mendez, Frankie. Friday was Paige Van Zant, Rose. And then Saturday was Connor, Aldo. That was tough.
Wasn't there one of those fight weeks where they did 4? They did a Sunday one too.
I don't think
Wonder
it was
Boy
because after 189 it was Wonder Boy Ellenberger and that was Black Zillion's ATT finale. But there was none.
That's
Friday.
Right.
Because Friday was International Fight Week, so they did the expo and everything. So that tough finale though was the UFC debuts of Kamaru Usman. It was Jorge Masvidal's welterweight debut, and it was Karate Hottie's Michelle Waterson's UFC debut.
That's right. 2016 was also like a really crazy year of debuts. Going through some of the lists there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more poll going up. Get your predictions in.
Now they're just showing.
Now we have another video. We got a Mike.
They're showing videos of Mike Tyson
Tyson
getting arrested, getting punched. For some reason, they're showing Elvis and Marilyn Monroe and Michael Jackson.
What the hell is going on?
I think they're just talking about the draw of Mike Tyson and what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't rate Mike Tyson skill-wise as a top 10 heavyweight ever, but pay-per-view draw, he's very well. If you want to tell me he's number 1, I won't argue.
Yeah. He's a prize fighter. Dude is
100%. There's no question about that.
I love how this is like an actual storyline. This Tyson training Ngannou thing.
I mean, if I get it, I totally get it. Like if all of a sudden John Jones becomes your head trainer, that's gonna be a story.
All right, so far 63% picking Fury, but Ngannou getting some love here. Ngannou is getting some love.
Also, what I would hazard a guess is, Mike, you don't have any tattoos. I have a lot.
I have 2.
I think I see. You have 2. Well, 1.5. I would say Mike Tyson's tattoo is probably the most famous tattoo in the world ever.
It's got.
I think that's the most famous tattoo ever.
You're probably right. The face one for sure.
Yes, that's also like done a lot for like artistic lawsuits and everything because like they put Mike Tyson's tattoo on that guy's face in The Hangover, and that became a whole lawsuit because it was an original piece that he did for Mike Tyson, and the artist wasn't asked permission or get any monetary things for it. I'm very into like tattoo lawsuits.
What happened? So what happened with that? Even with Tyson in the movie, like Tyson couldn't.
Well, he just wanted, like I get it. It's an original art piece that he made for him. He just wanted like some kickback or like, hey, we'll give you $100,000 to use your art, something like that. Same thing with Carlos Canas' tattoo artist for the UFC Undisputed Games, because that one he has on his ribs is an original piece.
Oh, okay. Still warming up in the back. I guess they lied about the 53-minute bullshit.
Someday
we'll get there. Everyone's on their feet. Even the people in the crowd are just like, they're on their feet. Like, let's friggin' go. Let's do this. Enough waiting. Thanks for the performance. Becky G's great. Now let's have a fight. We're waiting for. Are we just waiting for more dignitaries to arrive? Is that what?
there's Cristiano Ronaldo, the most famous person in the entire arena, probably.
And there's the most famous tattoo on the face of Iron Mike Tyson. There he is. Full suit. Will not be in the corner of Francis Ngannou here. And it's saying on the broadcast, this is because there's a lot of talk. Is this an exhibition? Is it real? This is officially sanctioned as a professional bout. The WBC belt is not on the line for Tyson Fury. There you go. There's Ronaldo. I mean, you probably should wait for Ronaldo, honestly, dude.
The most followed man on Instagram. I think the most
How many
followed
followers do you
person.
have?
Over, I think 600,000 or 600 million.
I was gonna say 600,000.
So more than half a close. He's on his way to a billion. More than
for crimities. 17 minutes, folks. 17:43. They lied. They lied to us, and then we had to lie to you. 17 minutes, 38 seconds. Holy crap, dude.
Are you surprised?
No, but it doesn't make it sting less.
True.
What do you got? Like, I don't even. Kudos to the broadcast team. What are you going to talk about for another 17 minutes after that?
Right. Like, we're sitting here in our homes, and they have to sit there on live television.
I could just go let my dog back inside, and I can let him back in if he wants to come back. They can't do that. More promos. So many more promos. This is so silly.
You know what I've noticed in these promos that they keep talking about? They never use Fury fights to hype fights these days before his Wilder fights. Like, have you seen any videos of him beating Klitschko?
Yeah. A while back, yeah.
No, for this package, they never really show the Klitschko fight.
No, not for this
That's
one.
what I'm saying.
No, you're right. It's all Wilder. It's like Wilder and the knockdowns and everything. Like that's
Dillian White and Chisora and everything.
Like have they? I mean, I'm following on the Slack, so I'm not really sure. I think there's only been one actual mention of the UFC on this entire broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you watched the weigh-ins and everything, like the UFC was mentioned almost every 30 seconds. It had no mention of PFL, nothing. It was just UFC. And that's kind of the problem with PFL. Like, no one associates Francis Ngannou with PFL. Even though he's with them, no one puts Francis sort of on that at this point. So when is it starting? 16 minutes, perhaps. Don't be shocked if they just tack on the old 20 on top of that.
What's another 2 hours, right, Mike?
What is another 2 hours? More promos. The belt, even the people are getting impatient. They're not throwing a fit, but they're all on their feet, like trying to send a message here. Like, we're ready for this fight. We are ready for this fight. More dignitaries.
Usyk.
It's on mute.
Ronaldo
again. We got to get Ronaldo on the screen as much as possible.
He plays for the Saudi Arabian team now. So, of course, they're going to just plaster him everywhere. That's why he's there.
There you go, Aim. Get that workout in.
Better be a
16 minutes to the 3-hour walkout start. Yep. There we go. Yeah. We're having the PFL chat in the Slack channels as well. Back to the broadcast booth, everybody. 14 minutes, folks. We're getting closer. 14 minutes, 6 seconds, and counting. I've had the tweet ready to go. And now another promo. How this all began.
It's
Tyson
just
Fury,
all the interesting fights.
Ali Inoki, Couture versus Tony.
Wow.
Jeez,
I can't believe this in Boston.
Yep. That was the first
They're showing UFC stuff, though. All right, Bruce Lee. Come on.
Now we're going movies. Enter the Dragon, Bloodsport.
Inoki, Ali again.
Ali.
Excellent.
McGregor, Mayweather.
Our friend Josh Gross, by the way.
Yes. There's Mayweather McGregor ending. Here's
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul with the robot. There's Jake Paul ethering Ben Askren. There's Jake Paul stealing Floyd's hat. There's Jake knocking down Anderson Silva. And there you go. Francis, Tyson, embrace.
This is insane that this fight is happening.
I
said it in our Q&A, but I don't know if this will ever happen again, a fight like this.
I just don't know if there's, I don't know. This could be it. Trying to think like who else that's currently on the UFC roster could make this crossover, and then it's
O'Malley versus Tank, or O'Malley versus Ryan Garcia or something like that. One of those kind of things. But like O'Malley's popular with the young guys. That's like an internet style fight though. Like, and he's a good striker. Oh man.
Yeah, that could be it. There's Ronaldo getting selfies with everybody.
Next to the Prince or whatever?
Yep. Usyk's.
I don't know his official title, so and there's Bob Arum.
Bob Arum looking every bit of his age. But dude's still out there. He's trying. Bob Arum just kicking it. There's Paris.
I'll say one thing. I can't imagine you're in much danger of having a fight in the crowd in Saudi Arabia.
That's very, very true.
Frank Warren.
And like going to an NFL game, going to a fight in Saudi Arabia.
Going to a UFC event anywhere outside of the Middle East.
That's
Phoenix. There's always like 3 or 4 fights a fight card.
Yeah. You see so many fight videos from like NFL games now. You can't even like go to an NFL
game. It's very
game.
strange. It's super strange.
Some dude got like beat to death at a Patriots game. Like people are just crazy. They're just crazy. 11 minutes, folks. 11 minutes. 11 minutes. All right. If you guys got questions, let's go. Let's party. Talk about we can talk about all this stuff. Let's go. Talk MMA. Talk this fight. Final predictions. Let's go. When will the fight start? I just said it. 10 minutes, 55 seconds of counting.
Allegedly. They still have to make the walk.
Well, yeah. We had the first countdown. That should have been over 10 minutes ago. 11 minutes to the next concert.
That's true.
Ikek was that guy's name on the show, The Middle. You're right. So, yeah. Obviously, the last name is enough.
What was it
called What the playing high school football. And then the new thing is because of the TV show, the sitcom called The Middle, the dad's name in the middle was his name is Mike Heck. So that's been the new thing. Last 12 years. Yeah. The family was the Hecks, and the dad's name was Mike Heck.
Had no idea.
It's actually a pretty good show.
I don't really watch television, honestly.
That's one of those like 30-minute sitcoms.
There's not a lot of Jose Youngs out there. I'll tell you that much.
Can you see it going the distance?
Sure.
Be really tough.
They are 2 tough gentlemen.
That's true. What is the worst fight of the year thus far?
What was that PFL fight where they both got?
Oh, geez, Louise.
You know what I'm saying?
Pauch Monfio and yeah, the teammate fight.
Probably that one, right?
That was really bad.
So it happened when friends fight.
Was there another one too like that? Oh, Liz Carmouche, Alimale McFarland's up there.
Yeah, that was rough. But at least that was like a finish. Liz just like
there's a mercy finish. Yeah. That finish could have come so much faster though.
Fat Ronaldo. The other Ronaldo.
There it is.
You know who that is, right?
What does
The
that
one in the
say?
black T-shirt. That's Fat Ronaldo. He was at one point in time the best soccer player in the world for Brazil. He won the 02 World Cup or whatever it was. Went to Real Madrid, was part of Los Galacticos with David Beckham and Zinedine Zidane. And then he, at one point in time, he might be the most prolific goal scorer ever. I'm not a soccer fan by any means or a football fan by any means, but like in my lifetime, he is one of, if not the most prolific scorers ever. And then he retired and got really fat.
And now he's deemed the name you have given him. More worst fight of the year nominees: Jones versus Gane, Corey Sandhagen versus Rob Font.
I don't think
I don't know if
Sandhagen
that was,
Font
like,
was
the
the
worst.
worst. He just got
Yeah.
hurt, and John Jones just steamrolled Cyril Gane.
Yeah, it just the expectations for that fight were somewhat unfair.
Yeah,
and it just didn't live up to it. Who wins game 2 tonight?
I hope it's the D-backs. What do you think was the biggest, most one-sided beatdown in like a high-level MMA fight?
That like wasn't a stoppage?
No, I mean it
Or
could
was stoppage?
I have 3 in mind.
I have 3
one of
that,
them
that
was,
just
one of
popped
them
into
was
my head.
One of them was a stoppage, but it was like a late round stoppage.
All right, there's 3 that have popped into my head without really thinking about it.
Okay.
One was Volkanovski versus Max Holloway 3. That was a masterpiece. That was an ass whooping.
That wasn't
for
even on my
25
list, but yeah, sure.
The other 2 that have popped in my head only because we did a damn on her: Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Carlos Esparza, and maybe higher than that is Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
I'm talking about 2023.
Oh, in 2023, I thought you meant of all time.
Oh no, I have some way bigger. Yes, Dillashaw Barao is like the answer, or Amanda Nunes, Ronda Rousey. That's also an answer.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Jessica Penne
Andrade.
crazy too.
I mean, that whole run. My 3 for this year are Weili, Amanda Lemos. That was one-sided.
That was crazy.
Volk Yair, I think, has to be up there.
That was a massacre.
Volk's best. I mean, Yair's best strikes were right before he got clipped, and Glover Teixeira losing to Jamal Hill, because that was very sad.
That was very one-sided as well.
Jessica Andrade, Lauren Murphy, Billy Topuria, Josh Emmett. Those were some bad ones.
Yeah, I was there for Topuria.
Those are the ones that really stand out. I mean, Volkov-Romanov was pretty one-sided.
Yeah, that was one-sided.
But those are the ones. But like, if you're talking all time, yeah, it's Dillashaw Barao was way up there.
Amanda versus Yuri de Lima was like complete one-way traffic.
Yeah, I was there for that. That was unbelievable.
That's one of like my favorite moments ever watching this sport. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Strickland Izzy is an interesting one.
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't think
that's a really good one. Though. Yeah, it was just very one-sided.
When I used to work for Flow Combat, one of the articles, because I was in charge of writing lists, so I'd have to do a list every week, and I had to do the top 5 beatdowns of reigning champions. So like the most one-sided losses for when the fight was happening, the champion lost. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like Joanna, Carla was on that list, and Barao, Dillashaw was on that list. My number 1 was Anderson Silva, Rich Franklin, when he shattered his nose.
God, dude,
that was unbelievable.
That was
when his nose was on like the other. Or that might have been the second one. It's all
that might have been the most like joyless title win I've ever seen.
Yes,
because like you were happy for Anderson, but like he beat the soul out of Rich Franklin, and you knew there was a moment in that fight where Anderson did the tie clinch, the plum, and like landed the first knee, and Rich Franklin began to realize that I can't get out of this. And you could see the fear and like just utter nerves on his face as Anderson just blasted him. And then the second fight happens, and it's exactly the same thing, except it gets into the second round and it just continues on. Jeez, dude.
I lied. That wasn't my number 1. I just found the article. It took me forever. Number 5 was TJ Barao.
That's a good one.
Number 4 was Kane JDS 2.
Yes.
Number 3 was Anderson Rich Franklin, for whatever reason. In my mind, I thought that was number 1. Number 2 was Carla Joanna. Yeah, okay. Number 1 was John Jones and Shogun. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
He made Shogun look like he had never fought before.
Yeah. Joanna Carla was a crazy one. And
I
then
had to
Joanna
do so many. Fuck, those lists. Those lists would like haunt me because I had to come up with one every week.
Yep. Joanna and the Joanna Jessica Penne beating. Oh man. I felt bad for Jessica Penne that night.
In Poland, I think, or Germany or whatever it was. I know it was overseas. I think that was Joanna's first title defense after beating Carla.
Are you guys really not going to mention the one-sided O'Malley fight? Which one? What are we talking about? You're not talking about
Aljo fight,
are you?
Aljo won the first round on every judge's scorecard.
That can't be what he's talking about. It's not.
I mean, that was the second round. I mean, honestly, in hindsight now, because I made this list before it happened, but I think Eddie Alvarez is way up there. That's about as perfect of a performance as you can get. Cody Garbrandt, Dominic Cruz is got to be up there too now.
It's a really good one. Oh, versus Butinho? We're talking about title fights.
Oh, we're talking about title fights, yeah.
No, we're not talking about Sean O'Malley fighting Chris Butinho on 40.
There you go. They're all geared up to walk.
Oh, man.
I think one of the other lists I made is the greatest UFC fighters to have, or biggest names, or greatest, or however you want to phrase it, to have one fight in the UFC.
The greatest to only have one fight in the UFC?
Yeah, like the biggest names, like the most memorable one and done in UFC history.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you're better at nailing these than I am.
I'm not saying they're the best. They're just like the most memorable, is what I'm trying to say.
Give me some examples.
Number 5 was Jason Thacker. Big ups, Strange Brew.
Okay.
Number 4 at the time was Jesse Taylor because he only had the one fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because then he obviously came back. Number 3 was James Toney. Number 2 was Renzo Gracie.
Yep.
Number 5 was Kazushi Sakuraba.
Oh, that's a good list.
But obviously, like, honorable mentions were like at the time, CM Punk.
Lee Murray's a great drop right now.
Did Lee Murray only have one fight in the UFC?
I think so. I think he only had the one fight.
And
CM Punk had 2 fights. CM Punk.
But at the time when I wrote this, he only had one, so he was an honorable mention.
Yeah.
He hadn't come back yet because I hadn't joined MMA fighting, or had right before I joined MMA fighting. And one that I left off that I remembered after it published was what's his name? He was in Fox. He was the Mark Schultz.
Oh,
Foxcatcher. He was the one that I forgot. That after it went out, I was like, God.
Anthony Shepard, yo, what's the fight status? For your information, you should update more often. We've been updating for 2 hours, bro. What the hell are you doing? What the hell you want from us? The fight hasn't started. We're about to walk. I don't know how many times we've been counting it down since the first friggin' clock came up.
We don't see the clock right now.
There's no clock.
But I would hazard a guess, what, 3:30, you think? 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern?
The walk's coming. The walk's coming. Tyson has left the locker room. I can at least say that. He has left the locker room area. All right, let's see where the poll's at here. Jeez, man. This is way closer than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Love you, MMA fans. Tyson Fury, 54%, 46% picking Francis. Go Batman.
I get it.
The lights are out. We got, is this the buff man?
Can you name, Mike, here's a question for you. Because I thought about this during the weigh-ins. Is there another fighter that has been introduced by both buffers besides Francis Ngannou? Probably James Toney.
Yep. That's a great question.
Because like Buffer doesn't do Showtime, so I don't think he was there for Conor, the Maymac fight.
No, that's Jimmy Lennon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's like anyone from like the pro wrestling world, because Buffer did a lot of those intros.
That's right. Like Ken Shamrock.
Ken's a good one. But he did a lot of WCW stuff. You might. That's a really interesting point. I love that question. But who got the both Buffer intro? Buffer's in the ring. Here comes Francis. Francis has just got introed, I believe. Michael Buffer did very good. Very good. How did I not get that one? Very, very good. Where the hell is it? Nate Diaz.
Oh, that's true.
I was freaking there for that. Did Michael Buffer do the Ben Askren fight too?
I honest to God don't remember.
Ben Askren. Yes, Ben Askren got it too. So basically, any MMA fighter who fought Jake Paul and James Toney and now Francis Ngannou. I can't think of anybody else. Michael didn't do any of the early UFCs, did he?
I don't remember, honestly. I only started watching the UFC at like UFC like 28 or something, 29. I didn't watch the UFC like religiously until until Zuffa bought them. Like I would watch them, but I never like made an appointment viewing. Lights out. Dude, that's the first one I thought. Eric Jackman chiming in the Slack group. Lights out, James Toney, baby. Lights out, tank out, and all that jazz. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I wonder if Tank got two.
Because of WCW?
Yeah.
I honest to God don't know.
That's pretty funny. It's a great question. Here comes Francis.
Oh my God. So this fight doesn't do anything for me like competitively, but like I am so into the assets and packaging of this fight. Like the crowns and the robes and the statues outside of Big Ben. I think it's so neat. But is
Fury coming out?
No, look at all the Cameroonian flags.
No, I know. But it looked like the guy that was walking up the ramp was Fury.
Oh, I don't know.
Unless this is just like part of the Olympic ceremony type dealy that they were talking about.
They bring them both out.
Affliction cards. Someone asked who is better, Michael or Bruce. Do we even want to answer that question?
It's just whatever your flavor is.
It just depends, yeah.
I think Bruce Buffer is very good.
He is good.
I
also really like Joe Martinez. I like him a lot.
I like Joe Martinez for the Hispanic fighters a lot, but it does feel different when Bruce isn't there.
It's true. It's true. But there's certain events that I think fit Joe better. Like I think UFC probably should have been Joe.
Yeah. I also really like both Joe and Bruce have just been very nice to me individually. So, oh my God, Francis Ngannou introduced on a throne.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's a good shout. Tim Sylvia. Fedor.
Nice post strike. Nicely done.
God, I love a good crown.
Shaved head Eric Nixick. I know he's getting some if you follow Eric on social media, you know why the head is shaved, but
is he flying a turkey?
Yeah, he already did.
There you go. It's close enough.
I asked him about something, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm in Turkey right now. Then I'm going over."
There's whole flights and hotels just for that.
Really?
Like when you get on a flight, the rest of the flight is just other bald men. It's very funny.
Is it too late for me?
Also, I absolutely love boxing entrances for big fights, but I don't want them for every boxing match. This makes it special.
Here comes Mike Tyson walking Francis to the ring. He was in the crowd, leaves the crowd, and now
you have to.
Here he goes.
Also, the flags look digital, which also looks sick.
Yeah. He did 2 affliction cards. So yeah. I mean, I think if we really thought about this, we could pull up a lot more.
We're on the spot right now.
Yeah.
Kamaru.
There's Izzy.
And Israel Adesanya, the 3 kings.
Yep. There we go.
Those 3 gentlemen in an actual, like, unsanctioned fight would mollywop almost this entire arena. Everyone in this arena. As Mike is dealing with something. Francis is still making the walk. I can't see the chat, guys, because Mike is running the show, so I apologize. But Francis Ngannou is France is still making the walk. He got the three kings with Francis, Kamaru, and Israel Adesanya.
Yep.
Vince
and
McMahon
there's
in the
Vince
background
McMahon.
next
There's
to
Eminem.
Vince McMahon and Eminem. What a combo, man.
Oh my God.
It's also like if this was an actual because Cain Velasquez was backstage for Pacquiao or Canelo Mayweather when it was the one. And like I interviewed him and I was like, is it wild that like knowing that you of everyone in this venue, you could beat up everyone? And we're at like I feel like Israel and Kamaru could probably beat almost everyone in this arena.
Pretty much.
Because they're like incredibly high, like Francis too.
Francis's robe is friggin' incredible. Here comes Tyson, I think. Lights are out.
He usually comes out on a throne, but he's usually carried with the belt.
He's walking, though. At least for now.
There's a man who has never done a single leg day in his entire life.
Doesn't need to.
Not at all. Oh, he almost left that dude hanging. Bad luck. Oscar
all the
De La
boxing.
Hoya.
All right.
Oh, those are all the legends. I didn't even know
all the boxing legends.
That is
Very
amazing.
Cool.
I love this.
This is awesome.
I really like this.
That was awesome. I thought it was just like a bunch of dudes at first.
No, so did I. Awesome. I thought that was just like production and stuff like that. That was very neat. I really liked that.
Man, Tyson Fury has that Floyd Mayweather entourage. Did you watch? I think me and Steven Morocco are the only ones on site who actually watched it. Oh, no. Don't go. Something's going on. Oh, that's security. Okay. Did you watch the Floyd Mayweather John Gotti fight? Did you watch that?
Peripherally. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Floyd Mayweather came out with like 500 people, including David Ortiz. Like they couldn't even do the broadcast. Yeah, David Ortiz.
Why?
I don't know. He was part of the entourage.
Is it because Gotti's from New York?
I don't know. It was just so weird. And like they had to delay the broadcast because he had so many people ringside that like they were bumping into the broadcast team that were sitting ringside to call the fights. So the fight, so Mayweather and Gotti are just standing in the ring for like 25 minutes, but the fight can't start because these 500 people in the entourage won't get out of the friggin' way. It's crazy.
Love that. You should tweet out that the fight's about to be live.
I did.
Oh, love that.
I sure did. Here we go. Tyson is about, if you're just joining us, Tyson Fury is about
sitting on a throne as well.
Another throne.
Love me a throne.
This is just a lot, dude. There's a lot happening right now. Someone's response was, so I tweeted out, kid, Francis got to shock the world against Tyson Fury. Find out with us as both men are about to make the walk. And someone said, we will find out in just 137 minutes. It's just an excellent comment right there. Fury's just going to milk this entrance. Apparently the broadcast team is describing this entrance as majestic.
I mean, when I think of majestic, I obviously think of Tyson Fury, right?
Yes, of course. I mean, that's the first thing that pops into your mind.
I love the green and yellow because he's the WBC champ. The green and yellow trim. I love that.
Yeah.
The green belts just hit so much harder from boxing.
Tyson Fury is off the throne
and around the stage.
He's doing a lap, multiple laps. Might be going for a mile run.
He's a showman.
We get fire behind him. The belt up in the air. The WBC belt up in the air.
Is that Tommy on the left?
I would assume so.
I know Tommy was with him. Looks like he's wearing gold chainmail as a hood.
Yeah. Fury still lapping, still doing laps.
He has 316 on the back. He has 316 on his back.
Oh, Fury's walking towards the ramp. Imagine if he just went and sat back down on the throne again.
Nope, it's not Tommy.
Now he's just taking a gingerly stroll. He's not in any hurry, folks.
Do you know what John? Do you know John 3:16? I know you know Austin 3:16, but
Of course I know Austin 3:16. No, Tim Tebow probably told me a few times though.
I mean, he had it on his face most of his career.
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
I think it's for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, something, something, something. If you believe in him, you'll have eternal life or something like that.
Okay.
Something. I don't know the exact phrase, but that's like the very loose cliff notes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tyson Fury
is on his way to the ring. He's
Not
jogging. And he's in the ring. Tyson Fury's in the ring. He's in the ring.
He's walking right up to Francis.
They go head to head. All right. They're in the ring. And now in about 22 minutes after this introduction is over, the fight is going to start. But both fighters are in the ring. They're in the ring. It's time, folks. It's time. Hopefully. All right, I'm going to stop the poll here. This is no truer comment has ever been said. This has been such a journey to this damn fight. We went live before the co-main event was like about to start. We're here.
I've read the Odyssey, Mike. And I can comfortably say that this has been an exact reenactment of how that entire book played
out. National anthem of Saudi Arabia is about to be done. Final poll, over 4,000 votes. Tyson Fury, who will win the main event? Tyson Fury, 51%, and Ngannou, 48%.
Hey, man.
Okay.
I get it. Francis hits really hard. I'm not picking him to win, but there's only 2 fights that I've ever said there's a 0% chance. It was Ronda Amanda. No, not Ronda Amanda. It was Ronda Betch. I didn't think Betch had a shot. And then Conor Habib. Those are the only 2 fights that I comfortably said there's a 0% chance the other person wins.
So you gave Conor a better chance of beating Floyd than beating Habib?
Yep.
I can see that.
Yep. Because of where Conor was in his life. If that 2016 Conor, you know, the one that was like the
Eddie Alvarez,
that was Conor? Like Aldo, Nate, Eddie, if they fought, might have been a different story. But where Conor was in his life, I gave him no shot.
All right, now we're getting the national anthem of Cameroon.
Mm-hmm. I love all the Cameroonians there.
There's a whole bunch. This is very cool.
Representation matters, man. I can't imagine what it's like being from a country like that and seeing like one of your countrymen on one of the biggest stages in the history of sports. Especially just given what his story is. Like I would imagine half that country just relates and just view Francis Ngannou as bigger than anything.
And now the playing of the
God
United
Save the
Kingdom
King
national anthem.
Isn't it wild seeing God Save the King now? Because like for our entire lives, it was God Save the Queen.
Yeah.
Big ups to the UFC crowd in attendance that booed the memorial graphic for the Queen. Remember that?
Oh my God, man.
Last September. That was a bummer. Me, when the Queen died, because that was the Hamzat Nate fiasco fight week, that same week.
279, yeah.
So Oscar Willis and I and Ken Hathaway all went to Did Mike disappear? Mike disappeared. We went to the British pub just to pay our respects.
No, I'm letting you tell your story. I
have
have to let the dog back inside.
That's fun. We went to the only British pub we could find to, like, you know, because Oscar was like, he's from England. He's like, I got to go to a pub. I just want to, you know, it hit the country hard. So I went with him, and there was like 10 camera crews there, like local news in Las Vegas, because it was like the only British pub near the Strip. And I had to help translate for Telemundo because they were interviewing British people and they couldn't understand them. So I had to help with I'm not fluent by any means, but I know enough that I could help translate. And we're getting Michael Buffer is doing his introductions. They're showing Evander Holyfield on the screen right now. I can't see the chat again. I'm very sorry. Mike's running the show. We got a shot of Francis Ngannou, Dewey Cooper. We got Tyson Fury and John Fury. John Fury is holding the WBC heavyweight championship.
The intros are happening. Here we go.
Such a neat stage.
It looks really cool in there. It looks very, very cool. All
This
right.
is a smaller venue, too.
It is.
It's not Wembley.
No.
That's Markel out there, right? His Francis' manager in the ring.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't. We have Ed Garner from Canada judging his 143rd fight. Alan Krebs, 615 fights he's judged.
And Juan Carlos Pelayo. So we have an American, a Mexican, and a Canadian, which is how it should be.
Yeah.
Like, not that it has to be those three, but I don't think judges should ref fights or judge fights if their countryman is fighting. Does that make sense? I want unbiased opinion. Is that the Hall of Fame ring on Michael Buffer's finger?
I believe it is.
Oof. Boxing Hall of Fame.
We just got let's get ready to rumble, folks.
Yeah. One time, have you ever interviewed Michael Buffer?
I have. I interviewed him. That was, even though that week ended in just pure heartbreak after watching Vitor Belfort annihilate.
Oh, that's right.
58-year-old Evander Holyfield, who had no business being in the ring, and Vitor celebrating like he just beat Mike Tyson in 1987 for the world title.
Right.
But that whole week before that, because they moved the entire event around, there was only like 7 media members there because they moved it from California to Florida after Oscar De La Hoya got COVID. And obviously California wasn't going to sanction Evander, but that was the card with Anderson Silva, and he knocked out Tito Ortiz in like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buffer was there. And I got to talk to him for like 8 or 9 minutes. I mean, what?
Very
a
nice
pleasant guy. What a
I interviewed him
nice
once.
guy.
I interviewed him once at a UFC Radio Row for International Fight Week because Bruce and him were kind of doing media. I think they were launching something or other. And I asked him, I go, did you make enough money off Ambitions as a Rider by Tupac to just retire? And he just looked at me and winked. And I go, all right. Because he does the intro for that song.
Yeah. That's a great question to ask him.
I love asking those weird questions. Like I told you, I interviewed John Cena once, and I introduced him as a platinum recording artist, John Cena, and he thought that was the funniest thing. We had to restart the interview because he was laughing too hard.
Bruce is also a very, very nice guy.
Bruce is very nice.
Very nice guy. Tyson Fury getting introed.
Oh, there's just something about a green belt being held behind someone that just is so cold. I know there's other belts, but the green one obviously pops more. Usyk, speaking with somebody. Weird camera angle. My God.
Face to face.
Is Tyson Fury. How tall is he? 6'9", 6'7", something like that? He is so tall.
Francis is no small individual.
No.
Again, the instructions. It's time. Look. 2 hours and 40. The watch party for UFC 294 was shorter than this.
The whole watch party?
The UFC 294 watch party was 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 11 seconds.
Let's take a moment here.
We're over that.
From the fight, a second away from starting. Good for Francis to get that bag.
Get that bag.
Francis. I know that's been like the narrative. But
Usyk
just shooing away.
Oh! The fight's underway. Tyson just
came out
ran at him and hit him with the right hand. Okay.
10 seconds in.
We're in. Yep. I'm at 247. If you're watching with us, 245, 244.
Francis is very clearly the bigger man physically, but Tyson Fury's, oh my God, his reach is unbelievable.
That right hand.
Francis He's hitting Francis from across the ring.
I was just gonna say it was like go-go gadget arms with that right hand that he just landed.
As Jake Paul once said, Tyson Fury is the only man that when he extends his arm from across the room comes close to his face.
Yes.
Francis is marching him down. So.
Yep, he is backing him up.
He's not biting on anything.
All right, we have our first clinch.
Do you think, here's a question. Do you think Francis isn't biting because he's not recognizes them because like a normal boxer would? Does that make sense?
No, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Like, because soccer players always say it's more difficult to play soccer players that don't know what they're doing because they make their mistakes help them because there's no way to plan for it. So like Fury's fainting and everything, but Francis doesn't look like he's biting too much. I mean, he's getting hit with that jab, that left jab all day.
Just popping it out there. It got sort of got that MMA paw thing going on.
Yeah, you're right. Like
which is interesting.
Well, that can be something too because you can slap the jab down.
Yeah,
that's a boxing thing too. Francis does that quite a bit.
Yeah. Ooh, Francis. Ooh. That was a nice little feint by Francis.
He hits hard, bro. Tyson Fury's like, woof.
Left hand just misses from Francis, but Tyson just landing that jab, goes to the body. Francis to the body. About a minute left here in round one. Ooh, little left hook from Tyson Fury.
Francis is going to that solar plexus, though.
Francis is evading. Like I think he's obviously hasn't figured out the distance, but the way this fight started to where Francis is now, he's doing a little bit better defensively. Francis.
Whoa.
Ooh, that was almost a little low.
Tyson Fury just backed into the fence and.
Yeah. Fury misses with the jab. Oh, that was Francis, a big combination from Fury.
Does Francis Trunk say Wakanda on the waist? That's amazing.
Ooh, Francis throws a big right hand, just comes up short. It looked like it did, yeah, on the front.
Overhand and an
uppercut. Oh, good jab from Fury.
And Fury with that. It wasn't even a jab. It was like a stepping snap uppercut.
That was nasty.
That right hand that Francis keeps slapping the jabs down is interesting though.
Yeah. All right, round one in the books.
10-9 Fury?
Yeah, 10-9 Fury.
10-9 Fury.
Okay.
I like this because obviously in boxing and MMA, you can only have one coach in there, like a cornerman. Like the other ones can be behind you. And there's always like these, who goes out there with like this and that. Like Dewey Cooper should be the man out there, but Eric Nix is right there in his ear. I love that. It's like when McGregor fought, it was
they spelled Eric Nix's name wrong. I mean, look, they spelled Conor McGregor's name wrong on this broadcast. So,
but like when Conor fought, it was Owen Roddy was like the guy in the ring, but John Kavanaugh was right there in his ear. And that's how it should be. Like Dewey Cooper is the one breaking down the technical stuff, and Eric Nixick is there to like as like the head trainer.
It's the voice of reason. Boom! That right hand was nice from Tyson.
Francis,
like you said,
Francis is tough, bro.
Yeah, like you said, he could take shots.
Francis is not an MMA fighter that has a quote unquote suspect chin.
Yeah.
So like I would not be surprised if this made it to the 6th, 7th round.
Round two.
It's not like Fury. It's not like Fury was. What time are you at?
2:40.
Yeah, all right.
Ooh. It seemed like this started and it was like 12, already 12 seconds off the clock.
Agreed.
Okay. Maybe they'll fix that. I don't know. Or maybe they wanted a showboat for 12 seconds.
That was very weird.
It was. Ooh, Francis threw him hard to the body again. All right.
Even Fury smiled at him.
Yep. This is
like Fury said, he took this fight seriously. The lack of showboating is, he's pulling his shorts up though, so hope that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, that Fury tried a jab to the body, and Francis responded with that uppercut. Smart.
Oh, now they're clinching in. Francis with the right hand. Okay.
Looks like Fury's cut on the forehead.
That would be really bad.
He does get cut quite often.
Jabs from Fury. Switching stances.
Oh, switched on him.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh man, Francis doesn't know what to do with that right lead.
That's why
he's clearly doing that to block with his other hand because he's cut over there.
He is cut.
Francis doesn't. He's like, oh no.
Yeah, the look on his face when he switched stances.
He got him with that left hook too.
Yep. It is a little cut. But again, guys have to keep in mind, he's going to fight tentatively booked with Alexander Usyk for the
wow. I want to slow, so they clinched up right now. I want a slow-mo of that clinch up because Francis's right hand was about as far back as you could go for that haymaker. And Fury was like, nah, and just clinched up. He was about to like gum punch him, Luffy style.
The Overeem punch was about to happen.
It wasn't even an uppercut. It was just like he was about to just haymaker him.
From the moon. 18 seconds left here, round 2. Better round for Francis.
This is a very good round for Francis. Cut him, clinched up a few times, got a couple shots in there. This is a good round for Francis.
Yeah, he's probably not winning it, but it's a good round. I would say it's a confidence builder at worst.
100%.
This
was a very good round for Francis Ngannou.
Okay, so we were right.
Okay.
The clock went to 0, and they still fought for 12 more seconds. So good for this is pretty good. This is pretty good.
This has been a good heavyweight boxing match so far. 2 rounds in.
2018 for Tyson Fury, but close round.
He hasn't. I'll say this. After 2 rounds, Francis Ngannou has not looked worse than Chisora or Dillian White.
That's good. That's true. Let's see some replays here. Ooh, that's the nice left hand from Francis. There's the clinch. Uppercut. That's where he caught him, was that little short uppercut. Live odds, Fury. So Fury closed at minus 1,400. Live odds, Fury minus 1,200. So not much of a change.
This is a fun fight.
Yeah, it's. I mean, way more competitive than I thought it was going to be through 2 rounds.
Well, I always thought like Tyson Fury would probably like obviously the distance, the longer it goes, it favors Fury, but
for sure. All right, round 3. Fury back to a very traditional stance here.
Yeah, because he got that Vaseline on his forehead cleaned up.
Yep. Francis, nice left hand. Francis defensively has been pretty good here.
He's been good. I'm curious if he spent a lot of his time just learning defense.
Oh, good left hand from Francis.
Good left hand from both of them.
This is pretty good. It's a pretty Francis to the body. Nice. Good jabs from Francis.
What do you have, a 2-0? I have a 1-1.
I have a 2-0.
Yeah.
Clear first. Second was closer, but I think Fury did enough. Like once he switched stances, like he took all the.
I get it.
But Francis is not a fish out of water here. Respect. Referee trying to separate him. God bless that guy trying to separate.
Oh, I know, right?
Like,
I know. Yeah. Who is that female referee the UFC used to use all the time?
Oh, God. It's a great question.
Kim? Was that her name?
Kim
Winslow?
Oh. Yes.
Kim Winslow?
Thank you.
She was the referee for, I think it was Gabriel Gonzaga versus some other 6'9" heavyweight. And like the fight ended and she like full like ran in with her body to get the guy to get Gabriel Gonzaga off of her.
I used to love watching ECW, and there'd be like a crazy match going on, and be like, oh, referee John Finnegan in the ring, poor bastard.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like this dude's look, he's laying down the law at least. Good right hand for Fury.
Francis has
knocked him down! Francis knocked him down! Holy shnikes!
Francis Ngannou just knocked down the lineal heavyweight champion in the world.
Francis just knocked down Tyson Fury, and that was a legit knockdown.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, fight's tied. We got a tie ball game now.
Yep.
Jeez. Who bet on Francis getting the first knockdown?
10-8.
Wow, it's a
10-8
10-8
for
round.
sure. Unbelievable.
We're all tied. Usyk's like, look at Usyk's face.
Usyk
He's
and
like, oh my
Ronaldo.
God. Oh my God. Jeez. Damn. Tyson was just like, whoa.
Legit knockdown.
It sure was. Bam. Right on the ear. Goodbye.
Right on the ear, bro.
He didn't win. It's 3 rounds in. At worst, through 3 rounds, it's tied up because of the 10-8 round. There is a very real world where Francis is way up right now.
I have it 29-27 Francis.
Yeah, there is a world where Usyk's face tells the whole story. God. Round 4, the momentum has swung completely into the camp of Francis Ngannou. Tyson Fury only landed 1 punch in round 3. Ngannou landed 7, but boy, he landed
only
the most
needs one. Only needs one. That's the story of Francis Ngannou. He just needs one.
Francis to the body, pretty much jabbed him in the chest. Francis back to the body. Nice combination. Look at Francis moving around now. Oof. He's styling now.
Is Francis the best boxer in the world? Oh man, that left hook by Tyson Fury though.
That was nice. Gone with a nice jab. And Ngannou's feeling himself a little bit. You can see it in his face.
Tyson needs to make this just pick.
Yeah, he's got to. Oh, there we go. He's trying to make it ugly.
Look at when Francis clinched, he had the 2 hands together like a tie plum.
Oh, what a rip to the body from Tyson Fury. That was nice. Ngannou clinched right. All right. Tyson is definitely getting more aggressive here. Definitely getting more aggressive. Minute 33 left in the round. Left hand from Fury. Oh, another left hand. Francis comes over the top of the right, but just comes up short. Fury's throwing some heat now. But Francis is just hanging in there. We got a clinch, tying him up. Referee trying to get these 2 very large individuals. Ooh. Combination. We tie up again. Fury's like definitely nodding at him and is like, all right, dude, you're good. Oh, they both threw like big combinations at each other. Tyson's got a little bit more respect back in this round. $30 left.
Ngannou's doing a good job of getting out of there. Like when Fury goes forward, Francis just backs all the way back up.
Yeah, his defense has been pretty good.
Very good. I bet that his camp must have just been all defense.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, honestly. Like he knows how to punch. You just got to figure out how not to get punched.
10 seconds left in there in round number 4. This is a Fury round for me.
Sure.
Although Ngannou didn't get run over by any stretch. All right, round 4 in the books. I have it 38-37 Fury.
I'm trying to do the math right now.
Because I had 28-28 after round 3. The live odds have Tyson Fury is only a minus 275 favorite.
Wow.
That's insane. I don't know what the I don't know what they're saying. I can't really say here, but did you feel like Francis slowed down a bit in that round? Do you feel like
I don't know how much of it was a slowdown rather than Fury picked it up.
okay?
Does that make sense?
No, I know what you're saying. That seems to be like a lot of the comments is maybe slowing down a little bit. Larry Holmes and Manny Pacquiao right next to each other is Holyfield. All right, here we go. What I like about these boxing cards is we're not getting all the media tweets up on the screen.
I don't really like the media tweets. It doesn't bother me because I just don't pay attention.
I'm just
to
kind of over it at this point. Like it was cool during the pandemic. Like you need some sort of interaction because there's nobody in the crowd. But then it's just like you see
never
people's
paid attention.
Personalities just change just so they could be on the broadcast. Round 5, or I mean, they're literally in the center of the ring here. Who's going to take the back step? Ooh, Francis with the left hand. Oh, Francis threw everything.
And then Fury got popped him and got out of the way.
Yep, he sure did. You made a really good point in the first round that Fury's throwing these like really nice feints, and Francis is like, all right.
Whoa. Fury just unloaded on him too.
Yep. Francis grabbed him right away. Yeah, Francis looks like he's slowing down a little bit.
Mouth is wide open now.
Yeah. His guard isn't as strong anymore.
Hey, good for Francis.
He's still, I mean, dude, he's still throwing.
He's fighting, man.
He's still game as hell.
I'm not saying he's a stick in the mud right now, but Tyson
no.
Fury is still bouncing around, and Francis is just stalking him.
Yeah.
The first question: does he hit harder than Deontay Wilder? Oh,
no, he doesn't. I mean, we don't know. I don't know. It depends on what you look at.
I have never been punched by either man, nor do I wish to be punched by either man.
It's a great point.
Oh, that stiff jab.
Francis is boxing.
I love it. This is a good fight.
This is
as I said at the beginning, like at the
Mayweather McGregor. This is not.
At the Q&A that we did, I didn't care. I don't care who wins. I just wanted a fun, good fight. I wanted a good showing. Yeah. I wanted Fury to take this seriously, and I wanted Ngannou to come with his skills, and that is exactly what's happened. Oof, that uppercut. That uppercut missed barely by Francis, too.
Yep.
Francis did call for the uppercut.
Fury moving forward. Nice jab. Fury sensing that Francis is slowing down a little bit.
Francis is, man, he hits so hard.
Oh, what a combination from Fury. Oh, but Francis is taking it.
Francis winged back. He just didn't connect with anything.
Yeah. He's got a chin on him.
What did I say? I said round 6-7. I said around 6-7, so my prediction is probably not happening.
We're about to hit the over-under number. Over-number is 5.5. We got 1.5 minutes of round 6. See if it gets there. There's the round. I think it's another Fury round.
Yep.
So 38, 37, 48, 46 Fury for me.
I don't know if you can see, but there's a photo on Getty of Tyson Fury laying down and Francis Ngannou standing over him after the knockdown. That is right up there with John Jones and Islam making the shush noise.
Really?
It's just like epic photos.
Is it on Twitter?
Our colleague Shaheen El-Shadi just tweeted it out, and I retweeted it.
Let me see this picture. Let's see. Oh, dude, that is a cool photo. Shout out Justin Setterfield from Getty. I'm retweeting it as well. Dude, that is a crazy picture. All right, we are off here. Round number 6. In a fight that could be tied.
I have it 47 up.
Yeah, I have 48-46 for Fury.
I also picked Fury in round 6 and 7 to win, which I don't think is going to happen because Francis doesn't look like he's any worse for wear right now. He's very clearly slowed down, but he's still going. He's still chugging along.
Oh, Francis is a nice right hand.
But that stiff jab, that step-in jab that Fury landed, he walked right into it.
Yep.
He's finding that all day. Francis comes lunging forward, and Fury just has a jab that just meets him in the middle.
That, like, sidearm left hand that Fury throws is so nice.
I know.
It's so weird.
This really does just look like Fury is fighting someone that's not, he's not biting because he's a better boxer. He's not biting because he doesn't recognize the techniques, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, good body shot from Ngannou. Nice little uppercut. Fury's got that.
This has been Fury's round, though. He's been just.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That jab is so nice. Francis is starting to throw really, really hard here in round 6. I think I'm not going to say the end is near, but he's definitely slowing down. But again, like we've been saying, Francis is just going to take it and throw back as hard as he can.
Man, if I'm Francis, do you ever go back to MMA?
I don't know, man.
Like, imagine if Francis could just throw a head kick right now.
Oh, my God. What a moment that would be. It's not much happening here, so that's why we're
lot of feints.
Just nice
psych outs by Fury. Fury's just finding his range now.
Oh, that was a nice right hand from Fury.
He's just flipping that jab in. Francis's mouth is a little bloody.
Yep. Fury's kind of got Francis figured out a little bit. He knows like something big's coming, so he just goes jab, jab, and as soon as he sees Francis' right hand go back, he just gets out of the way. 35 seconds left here in round 6. Another beautiful jab, man. Just peppered him. Another one. 20 seconds left here in round number 6. Fury's taking his time. Not a strike throw in the last probably 10 seconds or so from either gentleman. Fury's just moving. Ngannou's just kind of circling. Throws right hand, comes up a little bit short. Maybe hits him in the shoulder. Maybe one more jab from Fury. Can we see it? Nope. That's it. Another round in the books. 58-55 Fury.
According to the live odds, Francis went from plus 700 to plus 185.
Right now? No.
That was the...
Oh, that's what we got to. Yeah.
That was like at some point it got to that point.
All right, let me see if we can get some live odds here.
That 10-8 is going to loom large.
Fury's only a minus 400 live right now. Yep, Fury's minus 400 on the live odds. Ngannou plus 300.
And so I scored when was the knockdown? Which round?
That was round 3.
Ooh, elbow.
Yeah.
Inadvertent elbow on that overhand.
Yep. I think Fury won every round but the round he got knocked down in.
Yeah.
That's how I have it scored. All right, we're in round 7. Oh, Ngannou just threw a big left hand. Fury hasn't thrown anything in this round yet. Through 37 seconds. Fury's starting to move around a little bit. Not much happening. Francis threw like a combination.
What is going on with Fury? Fury hasn't done anything this round.
Yeah. He didn't do anything at the end of last round either. Oh, nice left hand from Francis. Okay.
Connected with air on the follow-up, though.
Yeah. It's like a push jab from a little stiff arm jab from Tyson Fury.
That's what he's been doing all day. He just meets him in the
Yep.
middle and lets Francis's momentum do the damage. I'll tell you what, though. I thought Fury would beat Usyk. I don't know anymore. Ooh, uppercuts from the clinch from Ngannou.
Yeah.
Well, this is the round I predicted would probably end it, and I am going to be wrong. Unless Tyson Fury just haymakers him.
Yeah. Ooh. All right, that's weird. Looks like he was going Gilly, ain't going Gilly.
Just a trip. Just a trip.
Just a trip. Fury's laughing. Fury slowed down too.
Yeah.
Is Francis winning this round right now? Because Fury.
I don't know. This has been this has been an ugly round for both men. No technique, lots of like weird falling down. This has been the worst round of the fight for both men, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
They're both just throwing and not really connecting. Francis connected in those uppercuts in the clinch, though, and had that beautiful right.
Yeah, had a left hand that he landed, but couldn't follow up on it.
Yeah.
20 seconds left here, round 7. There's not a lot of action to call here. I mean, Fury just looks really weird right now.
I know.
Like he's not throwing anything. Final 10 seconds. That's it. That's the round. I will give that round to Francis.
So
67
might be tied up. Might be tied up.
67-65 on my card for Tyson Fury heading into round 8. You think Fury just kind of took the round off there?
I don't know, man. That was a weird round.
It was very weird. Fury's got a nice little welt on the eye, as does Francis. Eric Dick's probably saying just the right thing that Francis needs to hear right now. Yeah, I have the same score as Marco. 67-65 Fury.
I got 66 up.
Okay. I don't hate it. I'm trying to look at our staff channel.
You don't do that.
Yeah, there's some bad cards.
You can tell who
there's some weird cards on the Slack channel.
You can tell who watches boxing.
All right, we're round 8, folks. Fury has landed 48 of 157. Francis Ngannou 43 of 154. All right, here we go. We're doing a little hug. Referee is separating them. And we're back. Fury still hasn't really thrown anything. It's like he's throwing. It's like he's about to throw, and then he slows it down and pushes. Oh, there's a little uppercut. Oh, Francis with the left hand, and another one. A little punch in the back of the head from Fury there by accident. Referee trying to separate him. Successful in doing it. Shout out to the referee. Right now, live odds. They're updating. I will tell you in a minute. Tyson Fury minus 230. Francis Ngannou plus 180. Those are the live odds right now.
What does the chat have as a score, if you can see?
Minus 225. Chat, what's your score? We'll do it after round 8 here.
Fury with some wicked uppercuts in that class too.
Most of the people that's actually scored it seriously have it 67.
Oh, Francis is teeing off.
Yep.
Fury walks through it though and just connected with another uppercut.
That was a nasty uppercut. That right hand from Francis came in real slow.
Oh, Francis is just unloading. He has him on the ropes.
Francis got it with the right hand. Oh my God!
Francis has
uppercut from Francis. No way!
Francis has Tyson Fury, the lineal heavyweight boxing champion, on the ropes.
Yes, he does.
He is
Kevin.
walking Tyson Fury down and just and Fury clinches up.
Oh
Tyson
my
Fury
God.
is on the ropes. Tyson Fury is, if he doesn't do something the next 2 rounds, could very well be on his way to losing a decision. What was the line on Francis by decision? 20,000 or something like that?
Now, Francis by decision was plus 900.
I mean, that's still crazy.
The plus 20,000.
This is what I said. This is what I said in the Q&A, where I think the bigger upset would be Francis Ngannou outboxing Tyson Fury than Francis Ngannou knocking out Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
This was like, this is on the equivalent of Buster Douglas Tyson, because Francis is just outboxing who everyone says could be the most talented heavyweight boxer ever.
This is crazy, man. Live odds right now. Tyson Fury
That's
minus
a Tyson
115. Francis
That's
Ngannou
a Tyson
minus
Fury
105.
round. He's up on my scorecards.
You scored that for Fury?
No, I mean, that's an Ngannou card.
Okay.
Ngannou. Yeah.
That's an Ngannou round for me too. So I had it. It's what, 67, 65?
Fury is gassing hard.
So 70. I fucking like that's 10-9 shit. 67, 65. So it'd be 77, 76 Fury heading into round 8. Live odds have it's pretty much a pick 'em on the live odds right now.
I certainly hope that this isn't like a controversial scorecard, you know?
I'm trying to figure what was the draw? What was the draw? Was plus 1200. In these weird crossover fights,
yeah, that the draw option is always almost there for these fights. I mean, Fury's landing a lot on these replays. You just don't see him in real time.
Write it down, Mike. Yep. Well, see, with MMA, it's so much easier. It's 3 rounds or 5. And then once we get into like the 7s and the 8s. Oh, Francis with a nice right hand. Wow. Francis finding a second win here. This is
going to come down to
man.
those early rounds, man. That 10-8 looms large, and it depends on if you gave that first or second round or that second round to Francis.
Kevin Adeleye has a 76-75 in Ngannou. Ayole's had some really rough boxing scorecards in his day, though. But Kevin it's not a bad one. Oh, yeah, he's had some bad ones.
I like Kevin. He's always been nice to me.
No, he is a nice guy, but he's had some bad cards.
I was in a fantasy baseball league with him once.
Really? What was that like?
We were the only ones that really cared.
I could see that.
Like Frank Warren in the corner screaming. That Frank Warren is Tyson Fury's promoter.
Yeah.
Fury looks absolutely gassed, but he's still throwing that jab. He's not doing anything.
He's not. It's very bizarre. This is a very bizarre.
That pawing thing is like that you mentioned before. Is I don't know what that's obviously an MMA thing, but
it's working. I wonder if Ngannou. I mean, Fury should just switch back. Should just switch stances again. He was doing so well when he switched.
I think he did that just because of the cut, though.
Yeah, but he was doing so well. Francis,
unless something happened with his hand.
That's a good point.
He hasn't thrown it that right hand in a while.
That's a really good point.
He's been throwing that jab. He's not doing anything. There you go.
Is this another Francis round so far?
Nah, Tyson is Francis is throwing, but he's not connecting.
Yeah.
Fury is just popping the jab. It's not an exciting round, but it's an effective round for Fury on the scorecards. If it's just optic wise, Francis is just like throwing everything he has.
That a low blow, perhaps?
Carl Frampton has only given Fury the 5th and 6th round.
Really?
That's
wow.
Wild. That's very interesting. We're not watching with the commentary on, so I'm curious what the commentators are saying. Because commentators can always, sway you.
That's very true. It's almost better not having the commentary.
I'd normally have it on mute.
All right. Round. This is over. This round is over.
I have no
Okay.
idea who won that round.
Let's see what the live odds are.
Kevin. Tyson was landing more, but
Francis is the favorite live right now.
Is he?
Minus 125. Fury plus 100. It's like just barely. I think Fury probably won that round. Yeah. So 87. Usyk.
What's he saying?
87. He's just making funny faces and putting his arms in the air. 87, 85.
What is it? I think it's 85 up on my scorecard. That's just close fights. Fury was close round. Fury was landing more, but it wasn't like an effective land.
Yeah, Ngannou the favorite as of right now, but it's very, very close. Let's see if the live odds shift here.
This is
round 10.
Right?
Here we go. Round 10.
This could be the deciding factor.
The live favorite. This is where it all. This is it. This is so freaking close. Both guys very cautious here.
And for people who are saying that, like Usyk and Ngannou December, that's not happening.
Yeah,
there are contracts and TV broadcasters and promotions and co-promoters and locations to deal with. This isn't the UFC where you can just scrap a fight to make it because it's all under the same belt, same umbrella.
Tyson Fury back as the live betting favorite. Minus 130. Just tells you how close this fight is.
Bro, is Francis Ngannou channeling the energy of Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, and Ben Askren right now to just right the wrongs of the last 2 years?
I mean, if he actually wins the decision here, it would just be incredible.
I tell you what, though, people are
Eric Nixick is the coach of the century. Him and Dewey Cooper are the tag team champions.
That whole camp.
Yep.
You got Strickland, you got Francis, you got all these guys.
It's just a battle of wills.
Fury looks locked in right now, though. He's just getting out of the way of everything.
He's very defensively sound. He's realizing, like, I cannot let this slip away here. I can't lose.
I'm curious what his corner's telling him, though, because I have it tied. But if his corner's like, oh, you're up 8-4 or whatever, not 8-4, but like if you're up 7-2, like you don't have to gas yourself.
Fury.
You know what I'm saying? I'm curious what his corner tells him. I'm curious what the crowd is like in there, because that'll sway a judge too.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching Israel Rob Whittaker, I thought Israel swept that 5-0, the second one, just being there because of the crowd and everything. Yeah. But then obviously when you rewatch it, like there is an argument that Rob Whittaker won that fight.
Oh, great. That was a nasty, sneaky ass uppercut from Tyson Fury. Francis with a Superman punch.
Francis Ngannou just threw a Superman punch against Tyson Fury. Superman punch from hell.
That was unbelievable. 20 seconds left. This is it. This is it.
Sorry, Sean Woodson. We got a new best boxer in MMA. And I love you, Sean.
Oh, my God.
Sean, if you fight Inoue to decision, you can reclaim that title.
Oh, that was a nasty counter left from Tyson Fury. Good fight.
That was a beautiful fight. That was such a beautiful fight.
Yep. Francis Ngannou wins regardless, but I think he loses this fight.
Beautiful fight. Beautiful fight.
It was really fun, man. It was really fun. I
got 95-94 for Fury. Is that right? I'm doing my math. If I had it tied up going into the 9th, going into the 10th.
Yeah. They got 85-85.
I'll tell you
So I
what,
had
though,
it.
Francis has become one of the biggest box office attractions and one of the biggest stars in all of sports, not just combat sports.
Yeah, Francis freaking wins, man. He is win. He wins on
So
our heart.
I absolutely despised all the chat of like, oh, if he does this, it's a win. If he just knocks him down, it's a win. Just the fact that he's here, it's a win. I think that sucks. I think that's such a stupid thing because not Francis wants to actually win. And I hate putting that label. I'm like, oh, he made it. He just made it. It's a win. Nah, dude. Francis wants to beat the champion. This was a win. He came out looking like a unbelievable boxer. So he knocked him down. He stayed. He took the punches.
That's the score I have, 96-93.
Fury? Yeah, so
Yep.
you just gave him one more round. I have a 95-94, so
yeah.
I hope it's not a controversy either way.
We're about to find out. Francis is acting like he won as he should. We're about to find out, friends. How did you guys score it? How did you guys score it? Who wins? Who do you guys think won? The betting odds closed at a pick'em. Francis minus 115, Tyson Fury minus 110. Pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. 95-94 for Fury.
That knockdown, though.
Yeah, that knockdown was huge.
And then Francis comes in and just hate like RDA or Jeremy Stevens RDA and just against the fence.
Another 96-93 Fury. Francis won. Fury. Good for you. Took over 5.5 at minus 125. Good call.
Francis
Good
with
call.
dancing.
That knockdown is like all
beautiful.
That's the thing we're gonna remember the most about it.
Yeah. I mean, that was the highlight of the whole thing.
Couple Francis cards here. 95-94 Fury, 95-94 Fury. Mr. Brightside, weird choice. A lot of people like Mr. Brightside has made a comeback.
No, it hasn't. It never left.
Really?
It has never left the UK top 50 from the day it came out.
I believe it. It's a great song.
Is it?
Fury. It's a jam, dude.
I'll take your word for it. You DJ weddings.
I've never played that at a wedding. Well, maybe that's not true. Unless it was like requested. That was a favorite. That was like one of my favorite karaoke songs to sing, but I thought it went away, so I never sang it again. I have to bring it back. We got cards all over the place. It's pretty split. It's pretty split. Yeah, amongst the peeps. What do you think Dana White is thinking right now?
I don't know, man.
It'd be great to hear from him.
I'd love to know. Love to know what like John and Stipe and all of these friends are saying.
If Francis wins, Jed was joking, but he's probably not wrong that Dana's going to announce Connor Chandler for UFC 300.
For sure.
Just to try to take the onus off of it. All right, we are about to find out, folks.
Francis wins pride rules. Fury is like clapping and took his gloves off. It's weird.
It's a splitty. The winner split decision is Tyson Fury by split decision.
I tell you what, though, I am infinitely more fascinated by if they rematch eventually. You know?
Yeah.
Like fight Usyk, get all the belts, and then fight Ngannou.
Man, Tyson Fury by split decision. Francis did get a card. 95-94, the final judge for Tyson Fury. We had a 96-93 for Fury. That seemed to be a pretty popular one for the Fury cards, but the headline is going to read, Jose Youngs. Tyson Fury barely escapes fight with Francis Ngannou.
Splitty City. I wish I could be hearing what they were saying right now. I'm going to mute myself so I can hear. One real quick.
All right. I can read you the captions as well. I do have the captions up, but I'll try to read it. Fury's asked, was this a surprise? Basically, was this a surprise? Francis is a great fighter. He's strong. And that was it. That was all he said about it. What else we got? Billups said you would give him the full 12. You started fast. More surprise. You're surprised by the technical ability. He's an awkward man and a great puncher, and I respect him a lot. Good follow-up. What did he do that surprised you? Shit. He was very awkward. He's a good fighter. He's given me probably one of my toughest fights in years. Okay. What's going through your mind with the knockdown? Tyson Fury says it's part of boxing. I was all right, and I got back up, as he typically does. Split decision win. Do you agree with the scorecards? Did you have it that close? There's Israel Adesanya in the ring. I got the win. And he's asked, you didn't seem like you're yourself. He said, I haven't fought in a long time, 11 months out of the ring. No excuses, though. Francis is a good fighter, and he caught me with some good punches. He caught me across the eye. It was a rough fight. And now I think we're setting up the Usyk stuff. Let's see if Tyson responds. He's been very good all week about this. And there's Usyk looking like his goldfish died. The excitement he had with this fight starting, when he's making funny faces, has left his face. Tyson Fury says, been in training camp for 12 weeks. I'm going home. I'm going to take some rest and see what is next. He did non-committal. Non-committal. All right, now we get to hear from Francis Ngannou, Mr. Moral Victory himself. Let's see what Francis has to say. They said, how does he feel? A lot of people are against you. They said, if you survived, it would be a miracle. I feel fantastic. I feel very happy. It did not go my way. I want to thank His Excellency right here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for giving me the opportunity to prove people wrong one more time again. I might come out. I might have come out short today. I might be wounded, but I'll come back. I'm a fighter and ready to fight anytime soon. I will run it back again, and I'm sure I will get better. This is my first boxing match. A great experience. I'm not giving any excuses. I know I came out sharp. I will go back and work harder with more experience this time and more of a feeling for the game and come back stronger. Francis is talking a lot here. At first, I was a little nervous. This is a new sport that I had never done. Now I know I can do this. Get ready. Get ready. I will come back. Okay. So there are the cards. Gardner, 95-94 Ngannou. Krebs, 96-93 Fury. Pelayo, 95-94 Fury. Those are the actual cards. Those are the final cards. Now he's asking about his layoff. 644 days. Came out from a long recovery, long surgery. This is from former UFC champion. My training camp was 3.5 months. I'm giving no excuse. I worked hard. I gave my best. I know my dedication. I'm going to gather with my team and look at what we can do next to improve our game and come back. Tonight was a fear of the water, and now I know the temperature of the water that I'm getting in. There you go. This is good stuff, man. Good for Francis. Jeez Louise. And they hug and they embrace and they say kind things to each other. And now there's more media going on and more interviews. And I think we're good. We're just going to get the same thing. We're really just going to get the same thing here. I don't know why they do this in boxing. It's very strange. All the broadcast partners ask the same questions and they do it live in the ring. Let's see what Fury says about how hurt. He says, I think it was a glancing blow to the back of the head. Whoa, okay. Throwing some shades. All right. Tyson Fury saying back of the head for the knockdown. It sure didn't look like back of the head to me in the replay. All right. Wild. Pretty crazy. Good for Francis Ngannou. Jose, are you surprised? Are you surprised the non-committance, if you will, from Tyson Fury with Usyk?
No. Nah.
You're not surprised?
Nah. From my 25 plus years of watching boxing, don't believe anything champions say in terms of dates, names, opponents, all of that. Remember when Fury signed a contract to fight Anthony Joshua and then he ended up fighting Deontay Wilder 2 more times? No, don't believe anything Tyson Fury says. He retired like 5 times.
This is a very different interview as well, because he from ESPN asked Fury if he wants to do a rematch. Fury said yes. Down the line, I'm sure Francis would like to too, but he said, I have this guy next, Usyk. And then great follow-up, actually. He said, does this version of Tyson Fury be the best Alexander Usyk? And Tyson Fury's answer was, Usyk's smaller than Francis Ngannou. And then he left the ring.
I'll tell you what, though. You know who was smart play? PFL's Instagram has the knockdown running on loop.
Really?
Yeah. Smart marketing.
This is the best thing that could have happened.
So is your phone ringing? Someone's phone is ringing. Francis with smile ear to ear. We've been live streaming this watch along for about 4 hours now. Oh, Usyk and Fury facing off in the ring. We have Alexander Usyk, who holds 4 belts, and Tyson Fury, who holds the lineal and the WBC belt, is facing off. They will face each other at some point for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world for all of the belts, potentially on December 23rd. Fighters have signed a contract to fight. We just don't have an official date or location yet. December 23rd in Saudi was rumored. Don't know how accurate, realistic that is after this fight, especially because Fury said he wanted a break. I honestly would hope they push it back because Usyk is not 100% healthy either. He's pretty banged up. I would like both of them to be 100%. We have not had an undisputed heavyweight boxing champion in the world since 0203 with Lennox Lewis. So I'd like to see it.
That'd be cool. So I apologize for the freaking phone. For some reason, I think my wife's FaceTime was put on here or something. I don't know. My wife's out of town, so I don't know. I think we'll wrap this up. I think we all know what this is. What's happening here. We're going to get to Usyk versus Fury, undisputed championship. We will react to all this a little bit more. We'll digest it a little bit more. We're going to leave this stream. We're going to have the press conference. You'll hear from both of these guys again.
Hopefully.
It might not start for another 8 hours, but they will get the press conference. And as soon as the press conference is over,
I will follow up with the powers that be if we want to do the post show now.
Okay.
Because
I need a breather.
Yeah. So
I got to walk the dog. I got to
You go
Yeah,
do your thing. We'll do the post show
We'll
after
figure
the
it out.
presser. Because I'm sure
All right.
editorial is going ballistic anyway with stories to write.
Yes.
Mike, take us away.
Thank you, Jose. Well done. We did this on short notice. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we didn't get to show you the fight, but nobody can show you the fight on here. But you're all the best. Stay tuned. Press conference coming up. Post-fight show coming up. There's the phone. Time to go. Goodbye, everybody.
Hasta luego.